Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mountain Phoenix, and today we're going to be finishing up Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit. Yep, we are going to finish it today, meaning that we're not going to stop until we finish this case. So without further ado, let us begin for the final time. Could you maybe calm down a little? Calm down? No way, Jose! Now until I come clean. It's for your own good, dang it! Our integral reporters refuse to give up, even in the face of repeated stonewalling from the crew. Look, you lady need to stop harassing these people, and I'll ask you to... You cops sure got a lot of nerve. You all the ones with that Taurosaurus run wild. Hoping to hide the fact that they bred the menace themselves to step cleaning desperately to the story. We really not pretty anything. This is a movie set. Says the girl who told me she done seen Guard with her own dang eyes. I saw something, but that doesn't mean we're keeping monsters here. Alright, break it up. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. And Sean. Y'all trying to try to hear Monster Inflation 2? Infestation 2? No. We're on the trail of a criminal. Lane Z says, the darkness of the criminal heart can sometimes be compared to a monster. That is to say the killer is no different than a monster, really. Agent Lane, this is highly regular, sir. We can't allow members of the public onto the crime scene. These people are important witnesses. I need them to be here. Well, Agent Lane, here we are. Where do you intend to begin? Let's start by summing up the facts. President Wang's body was discovered here this morning. He hadn't been seen since the night before last. Yes, he slipped off without the bodyguards noticing, if I remember correctly. So he was missing for over a day. And the last person to see him alive was you, Judge Cavell, on the roof of the big building. Why did the two of you race to meet? I'm sorry, but I can't say. Not even to defend yourself from the accusation of murder? Why? Why didn't you just tell us? Please, Jessica Bell, we're trying to help you. Ha! She can't say because she'll only incriminate herself more. I know you had something to do with the president's murder, and I'm going to prove it. You said yourself that the body was only found this morning. How do you explain the time that passed between Judge Cavell's meeting from the president and then? That's exactly what I'm hoping we're about to find out. I'm particularly interested in what happened last night. So why don't you tell us exactly how it all went down? Sean Fenn? Me? We know you were here on the set last night. You were, Sean? We have testimony from the woman over there and forensic evidence of the footprints that proves it. You came back to run your lines, right? What? You were spying on me? I'm sorry. I was just making sure you were okay. It was late. I was worried about you. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't need you to worry about me. Sean, that's no way to talk to an adult. She was trying to look out for you. Apologize insensitive. Sorry. I told you before, I won't have you speaking to people that way. Wow, this is a whole new Judge Cavell. It seems she's just as strict with her son as she is with those who break the law. Are you listening to me? If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. You must. And I want you to remember that, alright? Can we get on with the investigation now? Of course. Forgive me. I don't think I ever seen her so passionate about anything. I guess just about the mother will take a little getting used to. Are we to understand that you're accusing Sean of being involved somehow in Agent Lang? I just want the truth. I need to know why the president was killed. And by who. And I don't care what it takes. I'm going to find out. I guess it makes sense for him to be so determined. The president was practically family to him. Alright, Sean, perhaps you could tell us what happened last night? Fine by me. I got nothing to hide. I had a bad day yesterday. Messed up a couple takes. We were scheduled to shoot the same scene again today. So I thought I'd put in some extra practice, and that's what I did. It's that simple. It's not like I haven't done it before. It was fine. Nothing happened. You've been rehearsing late at night again? But when I called you yesterday evening, Sean, you said you were at the hotel. You called him? Around what time? It must have been around 11 p.m. or thereabouts. It's one of the rules. When Sean stays away from home, we have to speak every night. Yeah, well, I wasn't at the hotel. I was here on set. So you lied to me? Sorry. You know, I like the fact that the milk carton's also sweating too. Oh, now she's mad. And I think it's kind of amazing how hard he wants to work on his acting now. Nonetheless, a parent can't help but worry. For a child alone late at night, anything could happen to him. And indeed it did. He got himself entangled in this case. But he said nothing happened, right? He did, although I can't help but wonder if he is telling the truth. Nothing happened? I'm sorry, but you're lying. The model Taurosaurus head fell on the roof of the trailer last night. Did you expect us to believe that you knew nothing about that? I don't know what you're talking about. Is that so? I told you, I ran my lines, I went home, that was it. What do I know about some stupid falling head? All you're saying you can prove I know something. Sadly not. It's entirely possible that the head fell after Sean left. No proof, huh? Then this conversation is over. No, it's not. What? The head falling from the roof isn't the only strange thing about last night. And I'm certain you know what else I'm thinking of too. What other unusual occurrences occurred last night? Take that! This proves it beyond a doubt. Wait, that's... How did you... That's right, your rehearsal tape. Gah! What? You have video footage from last night? You do, if you want to watch it. You'll see that it was no ordinary evening. There's a footprint there already! There is, and I'm not sure it's an everyday sight even on the film set. Sean, why would you keep this from me? No reason. Liar! That stuff might work on your mommy, kid, but it's not gonna work on me. Why did you hide the tape? Sean, you have to tell us! You? Look, I just didn't want anyone to see me rehearsing, okay? I don't like it. So you were embarrassed? Is that it? Yeah. What's so weird about that? That's why you didn't hand over the vital evidence? Sean, how could you? Ah. Oh, give me a break. You know about it now, don't you? Sure, the footprints was there, but I just read my lines and went home. That was it. What? Nothing about a giant monster footprint stuck you in weird? It's a giant monster footprint! On the set of the giant monster movie. It's not like there isn't all kinds of other weird stuff around here. I don't buy it for a second. Chief, there's something hinky about this kid. Sure as I'm standing right here. Dang Skippy, it is just hiding a scoop under them horns, and my name is a lot of art. Ah, shut up, both of you. I'm done talking. Hold it right there. What is it, Agent Wayne? It's just as I thought. Thanks, Mr. Prosecutor. This footage of yours backs up my theory nicely. What? There's something else on that tape? Yup. Look closely. See the costume up at the top left? Oh yeah, the Pterosaur suit. Something's different. Do you see it? I'm not sure. He's just kind of hanging out and looking a little saggy. Oh, and the zipper on his back is done up tight. The zipper? Huh? That's... Yeah, I guess you all see it now, right? On the tape, the zipper is wide open. Why? Because somebody inside the suit, that's why. What? Mr. Powers, that zipper. What can you tell us about it? Well, we always close it real tight when the suit isn't unused. That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. And do you remember something else I said not so long ago? Let me refresh your memory. What if your friend Cavell pushed the president off the big building that night before last, and then came down here on the movies and hit the body somewhere? Here? Or where? There's all kinds of stuff down here. Costumes, equipment, you can hide it anywhere. And then come back a day later, last night, in other words, and take it out again. You're saying the body could have been hidden in the Pterosaur suit? That's exactly what I'm saying. Isn't that right, Cavell? You pushed the president off the roof just like I said, then you hid the body inside the costume. I most certainly did not. Protect all you like. I'm not going to believe you. You're the only person who could have done this. I thought we already proven that would be impossible. The movie set was locked at the time. There's no way Judge Cole could have been able to get in here. What if she had an accomplice? What? I have a little theory for you. I think you're going to like it. What if Sean was waiting down here when Cavell pushed the president off the roof? If the two of them were working together, the problem in the lock goes away. And then they work to hide the body together too, by dragging it over the Pterosaur suit and stuffing it inside. You think the murder was really that carefully planned? It was the assassination of the world leader. It would only have been carefully planned. To suggest that Sean could have been involved in this it's unthinkable. You're my prime suspect. What makes you think I want to listen to the word you say? But what about motive? What reason would either of them have to kill President Wayne? Who knows? And we'll find out soon enough. She was the last one to meet with him, and she won't tell us why. Pretty darn suspicious, even if you have to agree with that. Judge Cavell, I don't suppose I can convince you to share any more details? My apologies, but that is the one thing I cannot do. However, rest assured, should there ever change, you will be the first to know. So please, you have to believe me? Yeah, murderer have I have of saying that. What about you, kid? Any weak excuses to offer? If so, now's the time to get them off your chest. Pah, I got nothing to say to you. I'm innocent. Both as tight-lipped as each other, huh? Well, let me guess. You're still going to try to stick up for them? It's true. Judge Cavell's actions certainly makes her seem suspicious. But nothing she has told us amount to the motive for murder. It's even a suggestion of one. No. And like I said, I'm leaving motive aside for now. For the moment, I'm focusing on means and opportunity. And for my money, the two have been working together for the little plot to succeed. The video footage doesn't show the inside of the suit. You can't say for certain that it was the body in there at the time, can you? Maybe not, but we can take a look right now. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I'll put money on finding proof that it's there was there. Do you mind if we examine this suit, Mr. Powers? Oh, not at all. Might be a little right, though. Gets pretty sweaty in there. Huh? It's filthy. Yeah, that's weird. I always clean it out pretty good. If you don't, it can get kind of moldy. In other words, what we're looking at is proof that somebody other than you used the costume. That dirt in there must have come from the body. I guess the president was lying in the middle of the footprint. He probably wouldn't got it very dirty. Exactly. Well, everybody happy? Our assumption is that the inside of the suit is dirty because the dirt came from the body. Would it be safe to say that's the case? Why? Is there a problem? The part of the suit directly in front of the opening is particularly dirty. Yeah, it really is. But look at the victim. The area of his body that would have been in contact with the part of the suit isn't dirty at all. If the victim had been cramped in there as you suggested, his chest would certainly be covered in dirt. Fine. So what's your explanation? How did the dirt get inside there? Based on the videotape, there must have been somebody in the suit at the time. So who was it if it wasn't the president? Come on, Kay, think. It wasn't. Is something the matter, Kay? I've seen dirt like that somewhere before, I'm sure of it. I just can't think where. Dirt with weird little gray bits on it? Gray bits? She's right, there's something mixed in there. It was stuck in something else we looked at. Lots of it. Stuck to something we look at? An item of evidence, maybe? It's probably worth checking. Does one of the items we found have similar kind of dirt stuck into it?
Take that!
As Kay pointed out, the dirt in the suit contains small flecks of something gray. And? We discovered similar flecks stuck in the item belonged to somebody we recently had dealings with. The item in question being these gloves. You're right, the dirt does look similar. But, so what? What are you saying this stuff is? What exactly are these gray flecks of yours? I believe the gray flecks are... Surely they're flecks of concrete. Oh, like all the little broken up bits around the footprints, you mean? Exactly. So who did the gloves of which we found similar dirt and gray flecks belong to? Chairman Winter! We found them in his garage! That's right. We visited the garage in his home earlier today, and we found a pair of mechanic gloves covered in dirt. And if I recall correctly, the sledgehammer and the shovel too. Why would a pair of mechanic gloves be covered in dirt? I'll tell you why. Because somebody wore them while they used the hammer and the shovel. They smashed through the concrete to the dirt below and staining the gloves with both substances. Wait, so you're saying... Yes, that we finally know what these footprints really are. It is highly likely that they were dug by Chairman Winter. Highly likely? If that's so, then tell me this. Why the heck did he make them? What purpose would they possibly serve? Why indeed? I imagine they must have been... I'm thinking he must be digging something up. I imagine events unfold somewhat like this. There's something on the lot that needed to unearth. In order to do so, he cut the chain on the side entrance and gained access to from there. And then he used a sledgehammer and shovel to dig 3 footprints. When he found what he was looking for, he backed it up and filled in all the holes. Oh, but that's when Shell must have showed up, right? I think he did, yes. Chairman Winter would have had to find a hiding place, and Tower Sword suit just proved that. Yeah. You got all that from a pair of dirty gloves? It's good, but it's all just speculation. You don't have proof that he was inside the suit. He could have dug those holes and got out of there before the kid even showed up.
Objection!
But he didn't. And there's proof of that right here in the footage. It shows that Chairman Winter was still present when this recording was made. What? It's a shame that Agent Lane didn't know it himself. But if we compare the situation as we see now to the situation that appears at Sean's rehearsal tape, and compare that to the turn of what we saw in Chairman Winter's garage, it still becomes clear that the Chairman was present. What part of this image shows that the Chairman Winter was still here? This. Look at the bag next to the Tarsor's suit. We saw the same bag in Chairman Winter's garage. The same bag. The dirt on the gloves. That is an indicated connection, surely. I think that pretty much seals it. It was Excelsior's Winter in that suit. And he wasn't there, the president's body cannot be seen. Hiya! Good. Seems like convincing Chun-Li and the flaws of his theory. Somebody get to Chairman Winter's house right away. We need to know what's in the bag. Yes, sir. Y'all don't lose your minds. I feel like what I'm hearing here. What is this hog wheel? This is all we need. Then right here's some $1 fruit, dang it. Ain't no whole thing by an old guy. I think I demonstrated more than accurately, but that's exactly what they are. Don't matter to me what you just done did. I don't believe it, and that's that. I done told ya. I seen a big bad bull with my own 2 eyes. A giant eye peeping at the window. I thought we got past that nonsense. We ain't about to let that go. What kind of journalist would we be if we did, huh? Responsible ones, but I guess that's the whole problem. Wait, ain't like how it is ain't it just about the footprint know-how? Have you been fixed any of one of them monsters? Is that correct, young man? By the young lady over there, if not pretty much mistaken. You're never going to get anywhere with these two around. Maybe if we could prove to them that it wasn't a monster either, we might finally drop it. What do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Any right ideas? Prove that it wasn't a monster? Fine. I don't suppose there's much else for it. Let's see what we can do. Why are you two whispering about y'all hiding something to each other? Admit it! Quick, Tabby, rotate!
Hold it!
Could I politely ask you both calm down? The monster the boy was seen talking to, we know what it is now. Huh? That's right, Sean's rehearsal tape finally cleared out that particular mystery. It did? The point at which Miss Nichols thought it was Sean with 40. That would have been right when he was making his rehearsal tape. I think she mistook a certain object for a legendary creature of the lake. The so-called monster is right here in this picture. Huh? I don't see no Gordy, even nothing like a dumb snapshot. Y'all talking like a pro here? You can't fool me with no trick photography. What was Miss Nichols' Gordy really?
Take that!
That's right. It was a camera crane. This is what Miss Nichols saw, not Gordy. What? Sean's rehearsal tape was shot at a noticeably elevated viewpoint. A viewpoint that could only be possible if the camera in question was attached to the crane. Bull! How the heck do we make a mistake like that, huh?
Objection!
How indeed, Miss Nichols? Yes? You told us that you think you might need new glasses, didn't you? Yeah, my eyesight is quite way worse all of a sudden. Now I mentioned when you thought you saw Gordy, it was quite heavily shrouded in darkness. That's right, I only really saw a silhouette. But you done told us! Skin like an enormous worm, you said. Y'all trying to tell us your precious crane up and grew skin somehow? Ain't even no flesh in there, even metal bones, let even no skin. You're entirely correct, of course. About the crane, as it was this particular picture, anyway. But it did have a skin of some sort last night. I knew you were scoop-hating, you're just a plum critter. You want to tell me to starve, isn't that it? That wasn't my intent at all. But I do think it's time I finally put them both out of the misery. Gordy's skin is right here in front of us. It wasn't skin at all, it was this.
Take that!
Miss Nichols told us that it seemed likely that rained last night. That never happened in the end. But I think Sean may have covered the crane with rainproof sheeting nonetheless. And that might interpret logic is what Miss Nichols mistook for Gordy's skin. What? Aw, heck. Well, Sean, am I mistaken? You see everything, don't you? Gotta say, you're really amazing. I'm sorry, Miss Hart, but Miss Nichols' monster was no such thing. It was simply a trick of the light. And just like that, the dream dies again. Chief. I think that may have finally shut them up. I thought the kid was holding out on us. But it seems it could have maybe been a little wrong, maybe? Alright, we know what this so-called monster was now. Everyone happy? Everybody said those two. Agent Lang! The President's autopsy report is out, sir. It is? Let me see it. Death was due to full-body contractions and bone breakage caused by extreme pressure from above. So we have our cause of death. He was crushed. Just as we thought. Test results still hasn't come back from the yellow substance found on his chest. But I think they found gunshot residue on his right hand. Gunshot residue? Guess he was a kid at heart, huh? Gunshot residue, K. Is a substance left behind when the firearm is discharged. His presence indicates that the president may have used a gun. Really? But I didn't find a gun anywhere, did we? Indeed not, which makes the reduce something of a riddle. We need to read that report carefully. Well, Agent Lang, that clears up one thing, at least. The president didn't die from a fall, which means he wasn't pushed from the roof of the big building. He was crushed by the falling tall source head like he said he was. Guess I have to accept that now. Fine, you were right. Amazing, so that means Jessica Bell isn't a suspect anymore either? Surely it must. Both the cause and time of death rule her out. She met with the president the night before last. The autopsy report proved the time of death around 11 p.m. that night. And we know that the toss to his head fell around then too. In fact, the whole lines up perfectly. Phew, what a relief. Sorry, it might be a little too soon to celebrate. What? Sure, I think we can accept that the falling head must have been what killed the president. But that begs the question on what could have caused it to fall. Or who? We know it happened late last night, so we don't have to think about who was here at the time. What are you getting at exactly? You can't mean... I'm afraid I do. You did it, didn't you? Sean! The kid's hiding something. He was right here last night, right where the body was found. He saw the footprints. And yet he wants us to believe he knows nothing about what happened? That's a big ask, surely? You haven't yet established the footprints had anything to do with the murder. So even if he did see it, that doesn't mean he was involved. Maybe not, but his face tells me different. As does the fact that he's shaking like a leaf. It does seem like Agent Lang might be onto something. But I don't think Sean's going to talk. Fine, keep your mouth shut, kid. I have a better idea. Why don't we let your tape do the talking? What exactly are you planning, Agent Lang? The police have some pretty sophisticated image analysis tools these days. You would go to such extreme lengths to see my son convicted? It's not ideal, but the boy won't talk. You don't have any other way of getting him to the truth. Check the gumshoe. You have access to exactly what such a device, do you not? Sure do. Little V. Good. That should make this nice and quick. Mr. Edgeworth, might I request that it was you to carry out the analysis in question? Why me? I feel like Agent Lang might be indicted to believe in the worst. Image analysis is Alan's specialty, but alright. Is there a new clue to discover somewhere in the image data, I wonder? What the? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Let me see. Hmm? Yeah! What is it? What's the matter? Show me. Mr. Edgeworth, the court asked you to share your findings. Zoom in on the top right part of the image and look closely. There's a person there. It's... the president? Oh my! What? You're kidding, right? Well, I say that pretty decisive, wouldn't you? This doesn't look good for Sean at all. Wait! This doesn't prove anything! I didn't know he was there! I don't believe you, and the image doesn't in fact prove something very important. That you and the president were here on the scene of the crime together. Admit it, kid, you murdered President Wang. No, that's ridiculous. Why? Why would he... Sean, you didn't... You can't have... Can you? What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? It's hard to push back against footage like that. Surely even you can deny this is pretty bad for the kid, happens to the prosecutor. He admitted he knew nothing about what happened, but the president is right there with him. Sean, what are you not telling us? We have to know. He's right, Sean. Be honest now. It's the only way. The truth is, it was all my fault. Sean, what do you do? It was my fault that the Taurosaurus head fell off the trailer. I went up to the roof of the trailer to prep the kit I was using, and I turned on the heater when I was there. It must have left it burning when I came back down and ran my line. Then my mom called, and I left the set to go talk to her. When I came back up to the call, the Taurosaurus head had fallen from the roof, and the president was just there lying next to it. No. We did find evidence of the fire having been broken out up to the roof. It was just a tiny one, so I put it out myself. So we're saying the president died because of Sean? If he did, that will make this whole thing just an accident. What did you do with the head after you found it on the ground? I took it apart and carried the pieces up to the roof and put it back together again. You're saying you put out the fire and moved the head back to where it fell from? In other words, you try to cover your tracks. You're a real piece of work, kid. It's not like I did it on purpose. I really just forget to turn the heater off. Yes, and when the fire had burnt through his legs, they would have collapsed, and the head would have fallen down onto the ground below. Right, the fire caused the head to fall. Indeed, I also happen to have an idea of how the fire may have started. Those cans of paint thinners by the heater are flaming flammable, not a great place to keep them. And you swear it was an accident? Seems a little convenient. What was the president even doing here in the first place? How the heck am I supposed to know? I didn't see anybody, I swear. I still don't believe you. Why would President Wayne come to a place like this in the middle of the night? His reason for coming here is something of a mystery, it's true. He met Judge Cabell up on the roof 2 nights ago, and he was here at the movie set last night. Did he come to meet Sean? I think we'll need to go over the boy's statement very carefully indeed. Did you notice anything unusual about the body? I don't know. It was dark. He suddenly seems even more reluctant than usual. I don't think he wants to go over that memory any more than he has to, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure he doesn't. But is it really all that is? Should I push him a little more to this? It was dark, but you knew it was the body nonetheless? He's hiding something. I better find out what. Most people would cry out for help if they saw somebody lying on the ground. And yet you didn't. Yeah, because... What was the point? He was dead. But so you said. What I'm interested in how you were able to be so sure. Why are you certain that he was still dead? He was lying on the ground and that huge head was right next to him. Didn't take much to figure out what must have happened. He couldn't have guessed that the impact would have killed him? How do you really know? I'll tell you how, because you checked. Fine, I checked, okay? I was scared, but yeah, I went up to the body, I looked, and he wasn't breathing. So, right. But why try to hide the fact? There must be a reason. Could you tell me how the body looked like at that point? I couldn't tell if he was dead at first. There was no blood or anything, it was hard to be sure. Nothing on his clothes either, he was completely clean. But yeah, he wasn't breathing. And that's how I knew he was dead. Thank you. I'd like you to add that statement to your testimony if you don't mind.
Objection!
Nothing on his clothes? Nothing at all? Yeah, nothing. Why? Is there a problem with that? There's something you're clearly hoping that we've forgotten. What are you talking about? There isn't. That's not true. Unluckily for you, we remember it rather well. I'm talking, of course, about the yellow spectacles on the president's chest. You steadily avoided mentioning them throughout your testimony. An absence I find suspicious to say at least. Well, I hope for your sake that you have a satisfactory explanation. Judge Cavell. Allow me to explain. You? But the yellow surges of the president's chest. I imagine it was from a bouquet of flowers. Lion lilies, to be precise. Lion lilies? 2 nights ago when I met the president on the roof of the big building, I presented him with the bouquet. There's a type of lily with large yellow petals. I imagine that the substance of President Wang's chest has fallen from those flowers. Huh? What? It's not there in the printout from the security camera. Only because the president is in the way. Why give him flowers? That is not something I am liberty to delude. What? More secrets? Are you serious? First you wouldn't tell us why you met with him, and now you can't even tell us about the flowers? My sincerest apologies, but all I could tell you is that I gave him the bouquet. The bouquet that was nowhere near the body when it was discovered? How can you explain that? I cannot. Ha! Seriously, Your Honor? Some things you want to explain, the rest you can't? Come on, you gotta give us something here. You want to let this fly off the courtroom. What makes you think we'll accept this? Hey, you leave her alone! Sean, I threw the flowers away, okay? You did? So they were there when you found the body? Yeah, they were right there on his chest. And they were squashed completely flat. Oh, I guess that makes sense, right? They would have gotten crushed along with the president. And the pollen would have been smeared across his jacket front. That does explain these rather neatly. But why remove the bouquet to dispose of it? No reason. He's almost as invasive as his mother. More secrets? They're quite a pair. There is no secret. You know exactly why Sean disposed of the bouquet. Huh? You saw me leaving the house with it, didn't you? Oh, I get it. When you saw the flowers of the president's body, you remember seeing your mom with them. And you felt like need to prevent her from coming under suspicion. No, you got it all wrong! That's his least convincing lie yet. I often decorate our house with lion lilies. I imagine that's why he remembered. So the flowers his mother was carrying showed up in the president's body, and because of that he got rid of the bouquet and kept quiet about having discovered the corpse? Ha! Well, that ties everything up nicely, doesn't it? A little too nicely for my taste. Why? What's wrong with nice? I guess you forgot, huh? The kid also told us that he was responsible for the head falling off in the first place. Yeah, he did, but... So he's still our only suspect. The fingers of suspicion still seems to be pointing firmly at Sean's direction. However... Wait! I can think of a far more likely culprit than the boy. What? Who? The person who was holding Sean captive until only a short while ago. That's right, we had to rescue in the warehouse refrigerating unit done up by the harbor. The refrigerating unit in the deposit. Yeah. Luckily it wasn't switched on. Poor kid must have frozen in the possible otherwise. He was doing his best to call out for help, which is how we found him. His concussions have worn out by then, so he was wide awake and playing loud. Concussions? Is that what you were giving to? Yep, we found the bottle of the floor of the unit. It was even the same brand. 3Z's. Apparently it's super strong. Well, Agent Lang, surely that suggests that Sean is the victim, not a suspect. Somebody else was responsible, and I think they've been behind all this. Oh yeah? And the secret mastermind of yours was here last night too? That, I can't say yet. I can't yet say. Ha! It's not like you to be vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Sadly, we just don't have anything to tie a mysterious kidnapping to the murder of the president. So is there anyone else? Somebody other than Sean who could have committed the murder? Of course. So I was right. The kid is still our only suspect. Not quite. I can think of another. What? Somebody who was just recently proved he was here riding the movie set last night. Chairman Winner. You think he killed President Wang? Why not? He proven that he was president. And if he was here, he was viable as suspect like everyone else, wouldn't you say? Winner? Could he really have? It's certainly another possibility to consider. 12 years ago, he was... My number again. Look, a lot happened, okay? That was all 12 years ago or more. My father and the president being friends, our family being the ones who kept him safe. Lang? Like the Lang from 12 years ago? Yep. Good to see that you're finally about to pay for your crimes. Even if it did take a while for you to get what was coming for you. Agent Lang, what happened 12 years ago? It's nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with me. It's clearly connected to this case. Heh. And you can prove that, can you? Go ahead. Show me some proof that what happened 12 years ago has anything to do with this. Proof? If you can't prove it, this conversation's over. Does any of the evidence we collected show the link between recent events and those 12 years ago?
Take that!
There was a report of a Bronco Knight. It was sent to Chairman Winter by Board of the Guard. This last part in particular should be of interest to you. Retrieved the package we laid to rest 12 years ago in front of the planter? And that's not all. Take a look at this. This letter was sent to Rosie Ringer, the victim of the murder that happened the night before last. We don't know who sent it, but it does say this. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. What? But... something strange is going on, Agent Lang. Miss Ringer was murdered the night before last, and President Wang not long afterwards. And there's a connection between the two murders. There has to be. And I believe we can trace the connection to events 12 years in the past. Am I wrong? These are old wounds you're opening here. Insults to my family name. Please, Agent Lang, we need to know. I wonder what's that? Chifu! Huh? What are you all doing here? We came to find you, sir. We heard you were looking into the incident from 12 years ago. Idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your duties right now. We can't do that, sir. What? You're disobeying a direct order? Please, sir. I'm begging you. We all are. We have to reopen the investigation onto the SS5 incident. You know you can't let it go until you figure out what happened, and we can't either. Wally Chen Lang, it seems your former underling when the events of the past are explained too. Do you think it's that easy? Do you think you would solve the case just like that? I think we can. Together. Ha! Well, alright then. Offer accepted. Yes! Shifu! 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 Nice! Then I guess it's my turn to step up. I'm sorry, Kay? You're looking into the case from the past, right? I just happen to have something that'll help with that. Ah, you mean Mr. Fee. I do. If you can give me the details of the incident, that will corrupt those simulations for you. Sadly, we don't have the files related to the case. Huh? How come? Access to those files is restricted. They're top secret. Really? Why? Beats me. Somebody must have something to hide. Even I've never seen them. Everything I know, I read the newspaper articles from the time. That's fine. Just tell us what you can. Alright. The SS5 incident happened on the winter day 12 years ago, February 10th to be precise. Your police received a call directly from the kidnapper. I forgot the president of Zingfa. So he was kidnapped? Yeah, SS5 is the official destination of the president's kidnapping case. The kidnapper wanted $100 million. $100 million? How much money even is that? More than you can imagine, it seems. The last person to see the president that night was my father. They were together at the embassy at Zingfa until midnight on the 10th, and nobody knows what happened with the president after that until he was kidnapped. Our government did everything I could to scrape together the money. They were desperate to save him. In the end, they succeeded. The money was handed over, and the president came home safely. So President Wang was heading to Honcho even back then? Wow, go push the president. The length of the time he stayed in power isn't even close to the most impressive thing about him. Ancient Lane was clearly very wrong with President Wang. I assume that the kidnapping was thoroughly investigated? It was, but the investigation was top secret, as was the trial. The trial? So the suspect was arrested? Yeah, none other than our friend, Fifi Lagarde. What? Is that why you visited the prison? It is. It was to put on what you might call extended leave from Interpol. So I thought I'd use that time to look at what happened 12 years back. And I wanted to see who I was dealing with. She was found not guilty then, was she? Yeah. My father was in charge of the president's security at the time, but they held him responsible for the kidnapping and stripped him from his duties as presidential bodyguard. He stayed on the force though, and he worked the case alone, until eventually he's found a suspect, Lagarde. As he thought she did it, there's no way she was innocent. But they declared her not guilty, and the case went cold. My father couldn't take it. He was broken mentally and physically. Finally, he quit the force altogether. So he has solid grounds to suspect Warden Lagarde? He must have evidence. He couldn't have charged her otherwise. But I never been able to see the materials from the case. I'm sorry, but that's all I know. What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth? This is useful information, but I don't think it's enough of a little piece to recreate the scene. Is there really nothing we can do? You look like you could use a hand. Who's this now? Francesca. And Mr. Fender. We finally wrapped things up over the courthouse, so we thought we'd see what you kids are up to. Here. What's this? It says SS5 Incident Investigation Report. When Fifi Lagarde mentioned the incident from 12 years ago earlier, I couldn't help but wonder. So I decided to look into it, and this was what Interpol provided. Nice work, Francesca. Don't get the wrong idea, Mas Edgeworth. You're no longer a prosecutor. I didn't do this for you. I did it so a colleague would solve his father's final case. I owe you, sis. But everything related to the SS5 incident was supposed to be top secret. Yes, but that classification was applied to the prosecutor in charge of the case, Excelsior Winner. He was the prosecutor in charge? Him again? Don't worry. Due to the outcome of the morning's case, he's been stripped of the authority. An outcome that was no small part thanks to the efforts of his own son. Eustace. So in defeating his father, he made a cold case file available to us? That seems like we owe him. Prosecutor Eustace Winner is busy wrapping things up after the conclusion of the Lagarde trial, but he asked me to give you a message. Leave Dad and Lagarde to me. You focus on your case over there. Heh, he's even starting to sound like a prosecutor. Yeah, he is. Alright! Now we have the case file to recreate the scene, no problem. Excellent, let's get started. Huh? According to the file, the incident occurred exactly where the plaza is now. Then what are we waiting for? Look with me, everybody! Alright, Kay, if you could set Mr. Thief in motion. Sure! Looks like there's more than enough here to work with. Where do you want to start? Good question. Let's see. It seems there was an eyewitness. A freelance journalist by the name of Alf Aldown. But apparently, he was killed by the culprit of witnessing the kidnapping. So this is where he saw it all happen, huh? Here? As in the big building? No. Construction of the big building only began a year ago. Before that, it had been a piece of abandoned property. And before that... now we're getting to the stuff I know. 12 years ago, this place would have been the happy family home. Like, for retired people? No, it was a place for children without parents. An orphanage, in other words. The president was kidnapped from an orphanage? Yeah, and the place was run by Fifi Lagarde. She called it her happy little home. As the prospect of the intuition, I suppose it's understandable that she came under suspicion. President Wang, Excelsior's winner, and Warden Lagarde? Surely SS5 incident must be related to our current case. Okay, would you answer the data relating to the murder of Mr. Aldown? It seems sensible to assume that he was killed by whoever kidnapped the president. So we solved the murder, we solved the kidnapping, right? Nice! Alright, we're counting on you. I fell down. Oh god, it's all... I fell down. heck is all this? When did I grow to become so blazed towards people's reactions, Mr. Thief? What we're seeing here is the front yard of the orphanage as it was a whole years ago. At least as far as the police reports describe it. Yeah, this is how it looked like when they started investigating at 7 a.m. in the morning after the murder. And it seems to have been snowing. Yep, from what I heard, the footprints found up pretty important evidence. The snow fell in the daytime the previous day. In other words, before the incident occurred. Meaning that none of the relevant footprints would have been observed by new snow. I think we need to pay these footprints some special attention. Wait, this is our final recreation too from the whole game. I fell down. Man who witnessed the president's kidnapping. But what exactly did he see? I based this part of the recreation on one of the crime scene photos. He thinks he's covered in blood on the back of the head. Yeah, from that brick right there. They figure it must have been taken from here at the yard. It looks like the blood flowed to his head wound and spread over the surrounding area. Here, a gift for you. This is Mr. Aldow's autopsy report. This was the brick used in the murder. Stuff made of bricks all around the yard here. They probably took it from somewhere nearby, huh? I fell down, freelance journalist. Killed by witnessing the kidnapping of President Wang. Even the recreation is pretty gruesome, huh? It's even worse than the actual crime scene photo. That's a lot of blood. It seems likely to have come down the back of his head. As you can see, the area is completely caked. Yeah, the officer's report says that's where he was hit from the brick. Indeed, I imagine his attacker must have struck him from behind. It looks like he was clutching something in the right hand. Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the case file somewhere. Let's see. According to this, it was a button. Button? Torn from the attacker's clothing, perhaps? His cell phone must have belonged to the victim. You're right. Yeah, says here that the father, Mr. Alda, made a call when he was watching the kidnapping. A call? To who? His girlfriend, since he called her when he saw the president was there. But she didn't pick up, so he left a message. That's in here too, if you want to hear it, please. Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. Anyway, I'm here in the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and there's another... Damn it! The light's out, so I can't quite see, but... It looked like he was being kidnapped? Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know... What were those sounds at the end? He must have been attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lang, can I ask you something? Mr. Aldam's girlfriend, what was her name? Ringer. Rosie Ringer. At least that's what I heard. Just as I thought. Wait, you mean... Her revenge for what happened 12 years ago. All Miss Ringer was left with the memory of the personal effects of her lover. And so seeking revenge on Chairman Winter, she made an appearance at the action. So she really was out for revenge on Chairman Winter, was she? Perhaps it was a suspicion of the kidnapping. Or perhaps it's because she thought he was one of the kidnappers. Somebody dropped a yellow flower here. I think it's what symbolizes, the desire to steal treasures. Okay, you just can't make these up. Well, we can say it looks different than all the flowers I've seen in the planter. Huh? So what's it doing here? What indeed? We should examine the planters too. That must be right. Somebody must have stolen it. It has a stolen treasure. Okay. I think this one might actually symbolize the growing anger of the former prosecutor. These planters According to the case file, the yard stretches about 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were 3 planters of each side. Yes, planters arranged by a very particular pattern. One we've seen somewhere before. Shame there aren't any flowers, but I guess it was the middle of winter. Yes, but look at this one, it's bright yellow. Weird, how come this is the only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it. That's a lion lady, if I'm not really mistaken. A rare member of the family Lioncy. A lion lily, you say? Wait, didn't Judge Cabell give President Wang some lion lilies? What's the same flower doing here? This can't be a coincidence, can it? I believe this particular cover is from Asia, where it's said to symbolize the bond between parent and child. I wasn't aware you had knowledge when it comes to flowers, Francisca. Huh, what if I just tell you this common knowledge? Perhaps you just need to read a little more. So that's what our monstrous hoof prints really were. Wait, what? Recall the arrangement of the prints, now compare it to that of the planters. Whoa! That's right, I believe the footprints are located exactly where our planters once stood. The Chairman Winter was digging around the front of them? He was. And what might he have been doing that? We have a piece of evidence in our possession that answers exactly our question. Which piece of evidence shows them why Chairman Winter might have been digging in front of the planters?
Take that!
Recall, if you will, the report that one of the guards sent to Chairman Winter. In it, she mentioned something that she had been laid to rest in front of the planter. You think she was telling him where to dig? Wait, but why 3 holes? Because the report didn't specify which of the planters she meant. I get it, so he wasn't sure which one it was. Which meant he had tried to dig up all 3. I imagine so, yes. Poor Chairman Winter. But why go all that trouble? What was he looking for? There are burn marks on this pillar here. The report says there was a fire sometime the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see, where was it again? Ah! Yeah, one of the orphans set the fire with some caroline seeds. It was sort of prank, probably. They sound like a lovely bunch. Probably too lovely. It seems their ants explore their chances of finding any footprints near the entrance of the building. These footprints stop by the body. I guess this means they belong to Mr. Aldown, right? His feet were pretty big. What's that? About a size 12? According to the file, they were the same size as the shoes. It's a match. These footprints go towards the body and come back. According to this case file, they're thought to be the killers. They're about the size 9. Pretty average, in other words. The police weren't able to track down who the murderer was, but did though. Three planters, covered in snow. Is anything the matter, Agent Lang? Yeah, something's not right. I wasn't able to look in the case file until now. Indeed, you have Chairman Winter to thank for that, I seems. Yeah, but what's weird is, I've seen these scenes somewhere before. What? But where? I keep thinking I've got it, but then it's gone. He appears to be lost of his efforts to remember. Perhaps I should leave him alone for now. President Wang changed after the SS5 incident. I guess he felt his trust had been betrayed. I can understand that. But to cut ties with my family completely? But after how close we've been all those years? My father was desperate to make amends. Just get just one chance to say sorry. But no matter how many times he tried to get an audience with the president, he couldn't. He couldn't even convince him to take the letter from him. One time he came home covered in bruises. Who knows from where? A bodyguard maybe? Sorry, there's no point making you sit through old stories that won't change anything anyway. I'll be the judge of that. As warm as fuzzy as ever, I see. I suspect any different. That case ruined my father, and my family too. The people who failed to keep the president safe. That's all we were after that. He threw himself heart and soul into that investigation. He became obsessed, in other words. Hardly the best state of mind in which an undertaking adversary. Wow, you really don't pull your punches, huh? Look, just don't go thinking I'm only doing this just because of my dad, okay? That investigation was solid. His work was miraculous, and it was accurate. It always was. He interviewed every single one of those kids. He made sure he told them everything. I wonder if he learned anything of value. This looks like a snowman, but it's mostly melted. What's no wonder he's all slushy. He's wearing a hat and a scarf. He must have been all rusty toasty. Aw, look at his cute little bun nut just lying there. He probably would have frozen back up again at dawn, you know. That's when he's usually coldest. I don't think what about much, Mr. Edgeworth. If I melt the snowman frozen again, it wouldn't turn back into a snowman. It would turn into an iceman. What? Is what you better want me to say, huh? Isn't it? Well, too bad. It's a porch swing and the elephant's face on it. And behind it what appears to be a motor. You know, when you're dedicated to swinging your feet always wonders if you can swing all the way over the top and back again. Maybe the motorized swing can finally make that dream come true. Wouldn't that be a little dangerous? But what dream is it, huh? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. True, but I highly appreciate the case. So the victim was carrying a camera. Oh yeah, according to the file, they recovered a picture. Yeah, here we are. It's the president, right? Somebody pointing a gun at him. This must be what Mr. Aldown witnessed. So the person in the trench coat is the kidnapper? Yes, I imagine they were trying to conceal their identity. If Ancient Lane's father's theory was correct, the person wearing that trench coat is Warden the Guard. How come they only found one picture? He probably wasn't able to take one before he was attacked. I think that's about all we can learn from the scene for now. Alright, how about I try to show you some things I looked earlier on the night? That would be very much appreciated. Could you take us back to the moment in which the victim witnessed the kidnapping? Sure, I'll use the photograph he took. Here goes nothing. There's Mr. Aldown in the middle of the planters. And there's the president and his kidnapper by the road. My father based his investigation on the evidence Aldown provided. That was why he thought the kidnapping and the orphanage were connected somehow. And how he wanted us to suspect Fifi Lagarde? She was the one running the orphanage at the time. Exactly. But when the case went to trial, Chelsea's winner put a big hole in that theory. He did? Yeah. After all, the president and the kidnapper were attacking on the grounds of the orphanage, so it was hard to considerably prove any kind of connection. Huh, so they were never seen inside the gates of the orphanage. Detectives bust a gut to find evidence on the scene, and then prosecutors come along and twist it in their own ends. Winner and the guard were working together. They had some kind of deal, I'm sure of it. So you're saying that Chairman Winner was working with the kidnapper? Your father was convicted Lagarde was a culprit, correct? And you say he was gifted and through investigator. Then he must have more than suspect experience than just Mr. Aldown's message, surely. Yeah, he must have. I just don't know what it was. He wasn't exactly the case you like talking about. Agent Wang's father, Dailong Wang, trusted ally and confronted by President Wang. He discovered truths that were subconsciously suppressed by Chairman Winner. Our first priority should be the one to find out what they were. If Chairman Winner was involved in the President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday has something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do? You bet I do. We're talking about treasure, right? Loot. He must have been digging up ransom money. The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. You agree? Mr. Aldown took a picture of the president's kidnapping from here. And then he called Rosie Ringer. At which point the killer must have already been approaching from behind. With the brick in their hand, ready to strike. Mr. Aldown took a picture of the president's kidnapping from here. And then he called Rosie Ringer. Oh wait, that's the same one. Hey, that's Snowman. He was mounted on the simulation in the morning after the murder, huh? And the muffler was all wet. The little button I had buttoned off. Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy, I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving though, maybe they have potential. You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was kept by somebody else entirely. This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed. Luckily we managed to locate it. The button Mr. Aldown was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other and everything. And we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye. That presents something of a contradiction. What was the button contradict? The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered in his blood. Which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run by a little hypothetical there, shall we? What if after being struck, Mr. Aldown lost his balance, and reached out for the grab something to steady himself, the snowman? The snowman would have supported him, so he would have grasped the eye button and continued falling. I get it, so you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked? I am, with an arm's reach to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but his footprints go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the footprints again. Alright, let's take it back to the scene where Mr. Aldown was found. But the footprints on the left definitely match up with Mr. Aldown's shoes. But what's the deal? Let's take another look to see if we can figure it out. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldown's footprints? Well, they're the same size, the 12, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planters where the body was found. But we established that he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. Well, being a great thing, I know a few punch-door tricks, but that would be way beyond even me. Some average Joe stretching his arms that far, basically impossible. I think we can reasonably be certain that the prints were made by the shoes the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Perhaps we should take another look at them. These shoes, in the case file say they match the footprints, but... Huh? These aren't the victim's shoes. I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Look at how the laces were tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. So these prints, they go right up to where the victim was found and they stop right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So are the prints of his head his? The one that leads the way and come back? No, I don't think so. They're too small. So neither set belongs to him? Then how did he get here? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. So then, where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspected? This is how things looked before the president was presumably led away by gunpoint. He seemed super strong, but he still wasn't a match for a gun, huh? Indeed, and Mr. Aldown captured their spill seen on camera from over the planters. But if he did, then how? How could he grab the button off the snowman and go over there? Precisely. I think we need to put the situation again a little different point this time. I think Mr. Aldown's body was moved. How would he explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I better take a closer look. Huh? Look, there's a brick missing here. The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Poor snowman. He's not looking good. Can't be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it is. So do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman in this case will melt into water clear of truth. All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work to solve these mysteries. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, they're the exact same shape and size. I think we have concluded that the murder actually happened by the snowman. Right, the button came off from there. And the brick too. Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, then he tried to sneak up to the victim all the way from the planters. Mr. Aldown would have been seen right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldown wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman. Gotcha. Alright, here goes. Yeah, no matter how you look at this, this just doesn't work, huh? Indeed, everybody was present at the exact same spot. So where did they go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence in which is based on simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was fixed somehow? But which one was it?
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body. But why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie? They had the president at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. He would have no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, you only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right? Indeed, I imagine this killer probably removed the film that was already in there. Then replaced it with another if I assume that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. So the picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed. No way! And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Aldown saw at all. It's highly likely that he was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so there was a president when Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try to figure that out. But yeah, he left us a voicemail too. He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, shall we? This was surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing.
Take that!
Recall the statement from Mr. Aldown's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. 2 of the lights of the yard were broken. Yeah, he must have been talking about the one over the building. Alright, did you update the simulation to reflect everything we learned? Sure. And there we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Yes, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. Then they moved the body and staged a photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped to undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what a particular part of simulation tells us. I imagine it will affect our understanding of the scene where the body was found. Only one way to find out. Ready to make a jump? To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first press triangle and Dr. K. And so let's switch recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it. Mr. Aldown wasn't killed between the planters at all. Then what's this blood doing here? Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. And if you want to look more carefully at this blood, I think we'll be better off looking at the simulation and the point at which the body was discovered. So what are we waiting for? I'm ready when you are. Let's switch to recreation. So I need to first press triangle to talk to K, and then press left switch recreation. Blood on the snow. A lot of it. It certainly looks like the murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, but I just figured out that Mr. Aldown was killed over by the snowman, right? We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? The police report said the blood was Mr. Aldown's. Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winnet? The man who could have no spurns of altering the criminal official record over something this small. But then why go all the trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead? He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would have found Mr. Aldown's body. And he knew that the police would have scientific methods to the disposal to look for clues. Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah, they would have found traces of blood if they used that for sure. Exactly. He wouldn't be able to clean it up at the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to testify the results of any test when they came back in. It would simply happen a matter of replacing the official records with a doctored copy. Geez, so we've been looking at this forgery this whole time? This sucks. Hey, but it says Mr. Aldown's clothes were covered in blood too. It does, but if they were, they seem likely believable. It suggests that whoever's blood it is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldown's body was placed here. I get it, which means that the other person's blood was spilled not long after Mr. Aldown was killed. I think it does, yes. If that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? There's a clear contradiction here. Huh? In the bloodstain? The blood is clearly cut off when the snow was melted by the fire, which means that the blood in question was spilled before the fire was started. Huh, the fire happened before the murder, no? But if you chose to believe that the case file, yes. But the fire was actually set after what happened there. The kid who lit it must have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have changed Chairman Winter's version of events. We need to know more about this fire. You. Yes, Chief. The fire may have been reported by the police, which means there must be a record of it. Go see if they have anything and bring anything you find back right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right to it. One more thing. What is a Shifu? Contact my family back in Zinfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. They should? What kind of something exactly? I told you I've seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I remember where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it. Or at least of something very much like it. What? It looks like it was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell him to send it right away. Yes, Shifu. Yay. Shifu, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and I also brought a picture of your father's office. Oh, and one more thing. About time, what kept you, huh? Well, hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? This is it. This is the picture I remember. Could this be a duplication of something that happened on the night of the incident? It looks like a kid drew it, huh? Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of a child who set the fire. Shifu, there's... What now? Look, I'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? Why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he was quiet at some point during the investigation. Although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep this himself. Could I have seen the case file in the fire too? Sure, here. Can you just give me a moment to read through it? It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident. And then disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, a kid, really? That's horrible. But sadly not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. Huh? What's this? What's it doing in the case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that would well be connected. Which item of evidence relates to the item the boy left behind?
Take that!
I don't know if it was due to the evidence of the case, but it looks like it's something I'm missing important of this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You seen it before? Of course, he always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because it was a missing piece. I see. It has a special device inside that it plays a recorded sound when you twist the horn. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock some more recordings? You never know. The toy itself should be still up for the 54th floor. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu, I'll go fetch you right away. Here it is, Shifu. Tarsor's door like you asked. Good work. Hand over to the prosecutor over there. Well, does this horn found in the orphanage fit the president's plushie? It fits perfectly. And any more recordings on there? Hi, Dishu. Sorry, President Wang, it's me, Emil. You know, it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon, and I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to. Turn it off, right now! What's going on in her, Jessica Bell? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please! You see, I had a baby, a beautiful little boy. A beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Well, except I call him Sean. Sean Fenn. He has a nice ring to it, don't you think? No! Sean Fenn? The kid? And also that I'll be in the orphanage on the evening on the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's just only this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. What? He's my dad? I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the heck is going on, Cathal? Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him. And he was aware of this? Yes, of course. His mother, Emile Fenn, she died 5 years ago. We were cousins. We were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so, when she died, it seems only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret, and I decided the best way to do that would be for him to never know it in the first place. That's quite a lot to learn from a recording you made on the seemingly innocent toy. It seems Sean's mother must have recorded the message and sent the plushie to the president. Hey. Yes, Sean? You sure? He was really my dad? Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time of diplomatic in Xinhua. Makes sense, the line of work would have her brought her to contact the president. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage! She did, only after she returned, after she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her.
Not so fast!
Sorry, Judge Cabell, but I had to ask. Emile, this lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why didn't she see anywhere in the flash relating to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the roundabouts that night. Someone was tailing her. I bet that was Chairman Winter's doing. Though sadly we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. And she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean. Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? We could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over. Do you think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and this is about me. I'm staying. Oh, that didn't work at all. Sean, perhaps now you could guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Emile was gone, but also that you were alive and well, more than that more than one. But it makes sense now. No wonder Jessica was so keen on avoiding sharing the details of the meeting. Yeah, she would have shared the truth about Sean too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Emile and that I knew her well. That flower is born of special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wayne gave Emile a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now, he too is dead. If only he had lived, Sean might finally be able to get to know him. Shifu! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What? What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Xinhua. President Wang will. What? President's will, huh? He gave my father a medal at the mill. We had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there was no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will, a testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. What? What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that, since he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will? And we're certain that a document is already the President Rainwater himself? Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took a charge of it before the SS5 incident happened. They want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I shake my name on it being the genuine article. Wayne was a renowned world leader, a child nobody knew about would be so sure to cause a stir. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. I still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hands. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Sean! Sean! Oh boy, that's a big twist. Sean. He was my dad? It can't be easy learning the truth about his father's identity so suddenly. It's too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him? Sean, I get it. He was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But I was right there in front of me. Right there on the set. But why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. It's mine. If I had broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened. You wouldn't have. I ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers. Sean, please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. The bond between parent and child, symbolized by the line lily. I'm no expert, but it's not easy to see fuzz, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it must seem insensitive, Ancient Lane, but sentimentalism won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do in the case before us. You're right. I believe we learned all we need to know about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those for the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned about case reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Tower Source tour proves it. He must have gone there he got there to meet with Emil Fenn. Except he was kidnapped, and Aldown happened to see it. If Aldown hadn't been there, it would have been a murder. Just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to Planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent. So that's our current theory, is it? But there's something I still don't understand. There is? Why, this. Why are we staging a picture? They would have forced the president to play along. What if he hadn't? It's a good question. And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduct away. You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldown hadn't witnessed the kidnapping? If that really the case, why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they would have been needing to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldown wasn't the person that killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldown was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters is somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You don't realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it. But it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. You're saying they covered up the whole separate murder? But who? Who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seemed to be able to avoid it being mentioned in the file. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. You have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. This clearly shows that somebody else happened that night.
Take that!
Excelsior's Winter tried to shroud the existence of another murder of darkness, but there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress, thanks to the effects of your father, Agent Lang. My father? Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along all the other evidence from your pregnancy. The existence of a child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winter wish to erase it from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why. He did? What was it? It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that this is the president on the right-hand side. And that's the tar sword's toy in his hand. And who's that standing across him?
Take that!
Eastern Rose and a Black Dog? That could only be Bodhi Hana Canis. What? The creepy assassin guy? And what will a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can only think of one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Hiya! And Warden Lagarde and Chairman Winter were... Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue of the killing, and the other suspected testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Aldan was murdered because of what he witnessed was actually an assassination. Not just a kidnapping he thought it to be at all. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could a president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently. Yeah, we even met him. Indeed. So we have a president killed 12 years ago and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words. Right, which is completely impossible. Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. But regardless of what happened, I still respect him. Singfall may not be in the big country, but he held that place together. President Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. The presidential mask is well and truly swift. I entirely like the man we met. He really did seem like they were 2 completely different people. But how can one country have 2 presidents? How can I explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be 2 presidents. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me it doesn't make sense. A body double? President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Singfa, a figure on the world stage. There must have been a countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one in Gore Lake only a few days ago. It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts, but that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there are more than one president, not without proof. Do we have any proof that there were more than one president?
Take that!
I don't think I noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In a meal fence recording, she asked the president to be on the orphanage at midnight. But she shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at the time. Huh? How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in 2 places at once is if there were 2 of him. Ow! So the real president, that's the one who died 12 years ago? I think he might have been. Why? And who? Who would hire Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. What was it again?
Take that!
The picture taken by Mr. Aldan's camera was staged sometime after his murder, and Mr. Aldan was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who was the president in the staged photograph? A body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so he could take his place permanently. And Excelsior's winner, Fifi Lagarde, helped him do it. Wait, you don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me that it magically disappeared? No. In fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time.
Take that!
Because Chairman Winter dug something out last night, something he couldn't trust anyone else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important. Wait, you mean... That's right, the real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have been decomposed for many years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that construction was due to start here anytime then too. Everything had to wrap up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains. Yeah, I guess that's one. They started digging the place up. They would have found it pretty quick, huh? Actually, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be a trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, get me somebody from forensics. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains are found in the dirt, along with other signs of the body have been buried. So it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of the Celsius winner. The physique looks about right, and identical and medical records are matched. It's him, no doubt about it. So I suspected the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago. And the SS5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide. Wow, so it was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. Good idea, let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son. The footprints were originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown. He was likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by his assassin, Bohion and Canis. That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time only to... Indeed, but at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Mr. Aldown's murder. Yes, it seems he had witnessed the key moment of the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around the side of the building. That was the sight to seal his fate. And now we established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed that he was witnessing the president's abduction. At which point... Oh, the body double had come to meet up with his co-conspirators. Walk right behind Mr. Aldown. Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness. Being murdered by the men who were plotting to replace the president. So wasn't the body double who moved Mr. Aldown's body too? Yes, I think it probably was. Turns out these prisoners could have been his, could they? Actually I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proved how the particular trip was achieved. What shows that the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints?
Take that!
Why did the president's double move Mr. Aldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Aldown, he could have been carrying him on the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that he was taking exactly the same footprints left by the real president. Of course, his wood would have been the same shape and size. It would have been looked like a simple set of footprints. So that's how it went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's just one thing I still don't get. There is? What? Why did I need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Aldown has seen the president at the orphanage. I left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the co-conspirator to erase that message, but they had to make it look like the events described in the message were true, by staging the kidnapping just like the one he thought he saw. Exactly, I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde. She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk beyond the orphanage case to stage a photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers! The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about the size 9, too small for Chairman Winter in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how the so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassin. It does, which means my father must have noticed. There's no way he would have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No, he appeared to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Xingpa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though he was taking the blame in the kidnapping and our family being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally coming to light at last. Is it indeed? Intriguing. Huh? What? Who's there? That sound. Is that a bell? Bonihana Canis! What the heck are you doing here? Where's the law? You think you just saw him in front of us like any problem? Forgive me. I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang! I did, but it's not something I'm indicted to gloat over. I'm more interested in something else you mentioned, or someone else I say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose? Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find the young pup. A young punk is a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What? Wait, do you know who they are? In the manner of speaking, what did you call them again? A secret mastermind? It's your friend in the raincoat, of course. Red raincoat? The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmut? Yes he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, 12 long years ago. So you have surmised it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I too became an inconvenience to need of removal. The imposter president, winner, regard. The three are keen by guaranteeing my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend the young pup again, they might even succeed. I wonder what he's doing now. So it was the president's body double that hired you? I remember his words so long. His words almost as if it were yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, but a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risk? Why am I the one they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who to say I could be just as good as him? There were a difference, of course. Even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because he walks and talks like the president doesn't make him the president, does it, boy? No. So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Brooke's not around, that means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step in such capable shoes. Of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me! See, the king and his knight were much the same. President's double knew that his employer had a weakness. A young woman named Emile. Well, in order to find her, he needs to enlist the locals. Locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fenn has been located, they simply need to find the right time to lay her trap. The minute she arranged with the president so she could meet his son, that would have been the perfect opportunity. Indeed, and with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, the little conspiracy was complete. What in the guard? Now, a quid pro bono. Where might I find this pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and the mysterious string puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage. Oh, yeah, we saw that. It's some kind of prank, right? A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No, as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winter and Lagarde carried away the dead body. I also overheard them hatching a certain sort of little plot. A plot to remove me, the only person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premise, and being a very considerable boy, thought to arrange both our footprints on the scene of the crime. And since he had a little courtesy, set aside an eagle for such an occasion. So he spread liberally about the place and set up a little fire. No way, so that's what the fire was for. It must have been all so beautiful. Winter and Lagarde were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the snow, he took the opportunity to usher me out a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this? I do indeed. Don't I, Helma? Yes I do.
Hold it!
Again? So the two of you had met before? Yes, on a cold and lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back. Not long ago? But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing, more than it had in years, and it's cold enough that death by freezing is a real possibility. I had to get Helma out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at the car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, and eventually I managed to open one. And inside I found two young boys, shivering and semi-conscious. Two? Yes. And had I found them even an hour later, the poor wretches would have never made it. I took them both to the nearby orphanage. There's something significant about what he just told us. What is it about behind the stairs especially noteworthy? This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago? You're certain of that? I am. Holy smokes! We have something that shows why that date is so significant. This piece relates to the date of this Mr. Kenneth found the children.
Take that!
That was the same day on which a certain incident occurred, a murder of a well-known sculptor. No way! An incident in the aftermath of which two children went missing. The son of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Now that you mention it, the little guy did go AWOL, huh? Intriguing. The son of the murderer and the son of the victim. I suppose that would make sense. It would? One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see. That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting into the competition. Indeed, because without his son in Texas creation, Mr. Gusto would have no chance of winning. So that was what behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys are able to remember any such details. They weren't? No. When they met each other again on the night 12 years back, the young poet explained it to me. It seems that they were really on the brink of death when I found them. And the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. And they weren't even able to remember their names. Wow, so they couldn't even know that they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids. If what they're telling us is true, that would have been likely yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us about who our mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next? By all means. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And the people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. People from 12 years ago? You mean Lagarde, Winter, and the President, I assume? Yeah, one of Lagarde was in charge of prison when he was inmate the whole time. I fear I wasn't too kind to her, I could have been. And then she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. because you murdered President Wang. But they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for the Garden Chairman winner too. Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night. I'll be at the orphanage at the evening of the night. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's just only this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's what will be. Goodbye. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. I know you are, President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill as I am employed to kill, which in this case means you. No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him, and it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer. I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said and shook his head. Neither was I, but the world will know that I only have one now. I need to make sure of it. I even prepared something in case the worst comes to the worst. In the son in question, it was the young gentleman with the horns, the hair, correct? Horns? Can you see them? I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see, and for longer than you may realize. So the president meant to tell the world about Sean, and prepare something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Candace's word on the matter. Of course, we have something that proves what he's telling us the president said is true. The will. The will everybody knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us after all. The name of the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. With those three pieces of information, I was able to convince Warren the guard to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth with the body double at any time. And Sean's true identity with it. President Wang was more agile than I anticipated. He blocked my first knife thrust with something soft. By the time the piece I broken off hit the snow, my next strike had hit the mark. So it was Candace who tore the horn off the Tyrannosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup.
Hold it!
So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via the post office box. What's that? It's a means to exchange mail without revealing one's old address. I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under strict supervision, you see. By Warden the guard, no doubt. What were the two of you even communicating about? We were playing correspondent chess, of course. That and griping over respective lots of life. Correspondent chess? But didn't you used to play that with... Now, likely as I see, Mr. Kind of chess opponent was... Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight. We found a diagram of the game of Cell, too. So does that mean Knight had something to do with all that IS-7 incident business? Wait, could that be it? Do you have any evidence that connects Knight to the IS-7 incident?
Take that!
This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in here somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring! What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? The Defender. Take a closer look at it, if you will. That's design. It's Paul Hollycourt's trademark! Mark! Indeed. It looks like somebody turned a stamp he used to sign his work with into the ring. But why would Knight would have been carrying it? And why is it not with the rest of the evidence of the IS-7 incident? He tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next to the kin after the case wound down. And if I remember rightly, all Frosty Boy didn't have any family inside for his kid. And the kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not until later, anyhow. I heard from the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods. Including the seal, it would seem. and he turned into a ring and wore it until his very own death. So you're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son? The cops didn't mess around with that stuff like that. They would have made sure before handling it over. And we were looking into somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who will play correspondent chess, right? Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight? Knight is dead! How could he possibly be involved in our current case? Far out. Our only candidate for genius mastermind is the guy who already kicked the bucket? That's impossible! How can a dead guy be behind all this? It is a little perplexing, but then, who else could it be? You say you wrote all your letters in Braille, is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know my condition, do you? That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille whatsoever. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so exactly? Maybe someone typed Mr. Connors' letters out on purpose? Meaning there have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them? So then... Mr. Connor said he wrote the letters in Braille, but yet the letters received by Mr. Knight contain no Braille at all. This suggests that there must have been a third party who typed Mr. Connor's letters out. Guess it would have been worked the same way on the flip side too, huh? Whoever it was had to take a Knight's letters and turn them back into Braille? They could indeed. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canas. Mr. Canas, the answer you received. They were written in Braille too, yes. So some mysterious middle person really is a retyping of Bronxter's mistress? And that's the same person. Might be our secret string puller. Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight said that R.D. Frost is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago is actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who is he, and where is he? If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have been... I know anything we were kids, when both of us were alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. Him? But surely not. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet. Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is. What? Who? You have to tell us. I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well. The person we've been looking for is... No way. Can't be.
Take that!
It has to be. The person behind all this. The person who forced Chairman Winter's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to a roof of the big building. It was the monster. What? Did you really just say what I thought you said? Yes, the monster. That was the key to our mastermind. Oh, I almost forgot. We are doing a new show soon. I'd love to see if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one. That's right, the Big Circus, the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You have duels of fun. Miss Lloyd, can I ask you a favor? Oh, it all me? What kind of favor? You told us you recorded the sound of Tarsor's breathing fire. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture anything on your tape recorder, perhaps? Oh, you good, Ralph. Will sharp as a goddamn cat. I captured the Saw a big old beastie breathing wires I captured. Sure did. Like I said, I didn't particularly see the guy, but boy did I hear him. Can we listen to the tape? You surely can. Let's see now. That's it. That sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster identified the person behind all this. It's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storage room, did you not? Yep. Snap me a picture of it too. Even you can't rightfully see it so well. You can't see it right now, but... Take the gumshoe. Yes, sir. Your image and eyewear. Can we borrow it again? Sure, but... What do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha. I'm on it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We just have to find it. That's... See? I done told y'all! Tarsource is all dang self! Yes, there is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster! You'll find it right in a minute, then he dang well real, he big bad bull himself? No, because that's not his Tarsource at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would. The very big circus fire? Oh, wait, look! You see it? The enormous lime bloom? That's the real monster. This time Miss Lloyd thought it was a creature breathing fire? Oh, come on. You really gonna bring me crashing down to earth like that? That's how balloons fly, huh? Burn gas into making hot air? They do, and our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going to use the elevator. So this culprit, he got something to do with the circus? Circus worker, friend of the Bronxster, son of Gusto. Whoa. You're not serious. You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings the whole time. That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all this. Simeon? But everything? Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me it was all lies. That would be too horrible. I'm sorry, Kay. Who was that? Hey, where do you think you're going, old man? Nothing escapes you, does it, you pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done. What? No! Mr. Connors, wait! Uh-oh, attacked by the dog. Damn it! He disappeared! Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, I'm fine. But... Damn you! Are you alright, Sean? He killed my dad! He did, right? There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did. He won't get away with it! I'll make him pay! Somehow, I'll... No, Sean! You mustn't say that some things! Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You have to forgive us both. I should pull a call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Canas. I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind? I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, H. Lang. There is? What? Once the beast has been decided, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we need to try and find a matter priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping. Yes, sir. I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth. Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try to contact. If Saint really is the mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it. But I'm going to put things once and for all. time. Let's finish this. Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you guys come to watch the show? Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint. You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. I'm glad you kept your promise. Yes, I remember you giving me this. That's so great. You're gonna have so much fun. I think even you'll be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? I think you surprised me enough for one day already. What are you talking about? Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry? That's the painting of the balloon you see at the advertising circus, correct? Oh, yeah. What is this exactly? I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by the criminal we've been looking for. You do? Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean... Mr. Saint, you took the balloon out late the other night, didn't you? Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, but I need to put on some extra hours. At night? When it would have been even more difficult than usual? A strange time to decide to practice, and my controller battery's low. Let me charge it real quick. But why would I have taken the balloon out? What are you saying? That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious Kate to the top of the big building in order to frame her for the murder of Rosie Ringer. The security camera never recorded Kate taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you. But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand. It's not all you just did. You also attacked Sean in the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late to hearing in the courthouse, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to forgive me, believe me. I never ever going to do that. I wish I could believe you. But now I can't. Any trust I had with you is completely destroyed. That's horrible. Why would you say that? You told me back in the jail you said you believed I was innocent. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. You know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing some personal details with us, but it sounds like you have little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, I believe you, and we will get you out of here. This is just awful. I never thought you lied to me. We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon, You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. That hurts so much. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person. I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody. You root out their five psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to do. Exactly the behavior would spread the arts manipulated behind all recent troubles. I was too blind to see it before, but you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention. Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have a courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief is my dust is kind of my hobby of mine. Wow. That shifted quickly. Well done, all of you. Well, this is certainly a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for the trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt to fly. Guess that was all that act. But I'm glad we finally get to meet the real you. Simeon, this can't be true, can it? Truth, lies, what does it matter? Huh? All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here made me very mad indeed. And now he's going to pay. Sure, I went up to the room a couple nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew to the big building. I fly around the area and do promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So you go up to the building reasonably often? Yeah, promoting the circus like I said. Is that true, Miss Berry? Yeah, well, it's true that Simeon's job to go up to the Bloom and spread the word. I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up by there right now. Well, the same Bloom was used to the commission of a crime. Nonsense, I just happened to be in the area where it happened. Somebody took a picture and I was floating past the big building, that's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happen to be nearby, thank you very much.
Hold it!
This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over the Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see, and how do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? Not by hand, but that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few hundred pounds. It's kind of impressive that it can't even get off to the ground now that I think about it. I prefer if you don't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Jeez. We use a truck, okay? We can load it to the back and away you go. A truck, you say? Yeah. Last thing I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That would have been important. I better keep that in mind.
Objection!
This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh? So what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket load on the back. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about it not being moved 2 days ago is a lie. Ancient Lane, Emma. There you are, Mr. Edgeworth, at last! I've been trying to find you ever since you grabbed the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away. And I found what you asked me to look for. I was loaded in the truck with a parking lot bag, a blue truck. Well, I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, that's the concern of it.
Objection!
What, just because it's blue? That's a mob like a million other trucks? What makes you be so sure it's the exact same one? No, I saw it too. It was the same one for sure.
Objection!
Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? That wasn't me. Worthless are the words of the man who can't back up his claims with evidence. Wow, you sound just like him. Show me. I demand proof. I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it. Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck? The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while. No way, can you tell just by that? What can I use to prove that it's the same truck? I like to have a truck dusted for fingerprints. Huh? Why would you want to do that? Because I expect to find a certain specific set of prints. And if I do, it'll be on all doubt that the truck we saw in the front of the big building. Whose prints should it be? Yours? You think you're going to find your own prints in there? I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see what we can find, shall we? Emma, could you lend us the scientific skills one more time? That's why I'm here! One more, please. Already. Take it away, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? Me? Of course. Who else do you think I was going to do it? Don't worry, it's easy. I'll show you how. Fine. Although I don't see why you can't do it yourself. Spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints, like this. Moving the cursor around and pressing X will allow me to dust up the area with powder. If sticks are fingerprints, so once you found one, make sure to dump plenty in there. Then it blows away the excess. Blow it away? Yeah, with your mouth. Like that. Blowing with triangles to remove any excess powder. Alright, you got all that? Yes, thank you. Now try it for real. Oh, there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy. That's it! That's a nice clean print you got there. Can we compare it to my prints right away? Yep, leave it to me. That confirms it! It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, alright. With that, another lie exposed. Yeah! So what are you doing with the truck? Oh, that just driving around for fun, you know.
Objection!
Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage, and your truck was sighted nearby.
Objection!
Coincidence? Nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of the 2 separate abductions? Simply by chance? Just be honest, you were involved in both. What makes you think it were even connected?
Objection!
A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what. Oh, this should be good. What connects Kay and Sean's abductions?
Take that!
Kay was drunk with a dose of the powerful sedatives, and a bottle of sedatives was found where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand, no less. I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used, so what? Does that mean anything connected? You know as well as I do that doesn't prove anything for sure. Yeah, you must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can be tied to both crimes. Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles, you're all the same the other day. You force the evidence to fit the crime and you flat out make it up, just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different than a certain other evidence temporarily been misfortunate meeting.
Objection!
No, I'm nothing like him.
Objection!
Then show me. Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right? It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings. Okay, you're just about done here, Miles. No more cheap stuff left to fire. Great, now I have a show to be rehearsing for, so if you don't mind.
Objection!
Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. We don't want your good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal? Well, what are you sticking your nose in for? Hey, I just sense a vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? But I ought to lighten the mood. Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of a old great thief magic. You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see. If I can do Simeon's voice. Here goes. Objection. Well, what are you? Just take this seriously, will you? Thought you could do somebody running a little interference for you, Monster? Not the most intensical proposal I know, but again, Kay, again. We can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try to prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnapping for now. Is there anything else that suggests that he is our mastermind? Of course. Canis was looking for a secret string puller too. The young pup, as he called him. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was that same young pup, then perhaps. But what evidence do I have in my point him being involved behind the scenes?
Take that!
I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. And that same person might be our secret string puller. That's right, our mastermind was involved in Canis' night correspondent chess exchange. I proved that Mr. Saint was a hidden emissary between the two of them. Alright, that's another. This is getting painful. You don't have anything and I have to practice for the show, so if you don't mind.
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Fender. I can take it from here. And I can't take any more of your interventions. Ooh, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Well, Serrano's back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon the funny clown. Look at me. I'm juggling. Okay, you can stop now. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it? Huh? Where did that come from? Chess? Sure, I don't hate it. Our secret street puller was playing corresponding chess with Mr. Canis. I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was your so-called mastermind? No, it wasn't him. However, it was manipulating events even after Mike's death. Take a look at this letter if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted himself between Mr. Canis and Knight. So you're saying that person was me? Why would I go all that trouble? That's crazy. To make it appear that the two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that leads Fifi Lagarde to murder him. What? You're saying he set up to try to get Mr. Knight killed? Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? Yes. You see me? I can barely even get the animals to do what I want. If I could find one more of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, I would have put the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like you to have your room searched. I believe we might find letters. You won't. Trust me. What? Once I'm done with something, I put it straight to the trash. Guess I'm not a sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? Gah! He must have disposed any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks. Guess he went in without the evidence he needed once again, huh? It's a bad habit, you know. So this doesn't prove anything either? We've fallen short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options? You accuse me of betraying my friend and you don't even have proof? You're despicable. Who was that? Oh, hi. Miss Barry? What does she want? Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person, you mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend? Yes, what of it? Does she know something? A letter came with him this morning from Simeon. What? What did you... How is that possible? Knight is dead. Miss Barry, we need to see this letter right away. Sure, here you go. Let's open up, shall we? It's another correspondent chess letter. The next move of the game was Mr. Canis. Can anyone else smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you're never going to beat me, not at chess. Postmark at 26th of March. The day before Knight died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route. Well, we do move around a lot. As part of being a traveling circus, I've memorized life all the time. Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint. Gah! This is it, isn't it? The proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Canis' night scheme. One of the letters you could have transcribed was in Braille, in order to create an illusion that they were somehow connected. Curse you, Bronco! You're still getting in the way even now! I hate you! I hate you! Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend. Ha! We weren't friends. I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago. Right around the time of the IS evidence, in other words. I nearly froze to death because of him. I was just about to head out and meet my dad at the contest. But then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this, and if I don't do what he says, he's so scary. Stop it, Bronco, stop it. I have to meet my dad, I promise. If I'm not there to taste candy for him, he'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, I'll be able to show everyone he's the best in the world. But no, he locked me in that car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried, the door was frozen shut. We were trapped. Then that's how I lost my dad. What? You lost your dad? Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of the murderer. What does he mean? He doesn't match up with what we know at all. So you mean the victim that I sent was a guy named Artie Frost? Yeah, that was my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day. What little I remember was pretty mixed up. But I didn't find out till later that he that my dad was murdered. The murderer was a man named Carmelo Gusto, a confessioner. Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name, or maybe I choose not to remember. Ugh, just thinking about that sicko just killed my dad turns my stomach. Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now? Do you think I sit on it if I did? No. I would report him to the police straight away. All I knew is that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped my father murder mine. He was the son of the cold-blooded killer. He deserved to die.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you made a mistake. A big one. A mistake? What do you mean? Artie Frost was a sculptor. He'd been working on France not too long before the murder. Under the name Hall Hollyquist. So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could. Well, I'm afraid it's only natural you don't, because he wasn't your father. Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny. Not at all. You're right. It's not. But you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son.
Take that!
Huh? Bronco's chess set and a ring? Yes, take a look at the ring for me if you would. What does the engraving on it tells you? It's 2 letters, right? It is. This is the seal which Paul Hollyquist used to mark his words. It was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago. But why would Bronco have a mental with my father? The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to the man they were able to prove he was a child, Bronco Knight. Well, but that's not... That would mean I was... Precisely. That you are, in fact, the son of Carmelo Gusto. No, that can't be! My dad was... I remember... Don't I? Bronco said, tied me up and locked me in that car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die, didn't he? No way. So I get to see the circus thing even though I'm in jail? Was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game. So the show was the icing on top. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. You will. And hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over the next move in the meantime. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. But you can take a look at it later. A little something? No idea where you might be, but thanks. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, I wouldn't have had to end it like this. Huh? Did you say something? Me? Oh, it was nothing. Goodbye, Bronco, and farewell. I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why. I tried to be like Canis, why I stayed in touch with him all these years. And there we have it, the truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Canis' correspondent chess partner. And you were the one manipulating us the whole time. You're right, it was me. It was me all along. At last, he's finally telling the truth. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago, but you knew that already. Presidential assassination, just as we thought. Which means he was the one who drew the picture. And they knew it too. That's why Lagarde kept questioning me, day in and day out. It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who would have blamed me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winter would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped counting. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep at night. Even the smallest noise could have me chasing shadows. It drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life has been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of the prison. No regular person would hope to stand up to people like that. From the time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of the entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to, Canis, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite a claim. Strange to think our own famously ruthless assassin is winning the admiration of a child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and become a hunter myself, and not become my prey. And I doubt even you would imagine the bodyguard will go as far as caused by our country's police. No, I sure didn't, and as long as the winner was around, no evidence was going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. The guard almost got away with it again. But I know him now I got my back on my hand. I could see exactly how it was going to go all down. So he saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winter would try to suppress the evidence of one of the guard's trial. I see, and that's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? You wanted to force a guilty verdict regardless of the presence of evidence of the rule of law.
Objection.
Maybe I did, but how else am I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago? Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winter pulled one last surprise, did he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in hopes of influencing the verdict. In other words, he chose the exact same route and actions the man you so fiercely claim to hate.
Objection.
That's only if he actually kidnapped anyone at all. But he never do anything so wicked, never ever. Me? Commit a crime? No. And besides, I don't even hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge would have been nearly as fun.
Objection.
So you admit it? Your motive is all this for nothing more than revenge? Sure, I admit it, but so what? I despise every single one of them. And here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most you can blame me is for writing the odd letter here and there. A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winter and another to hint that he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all on them. So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders? Right, same thing as Gore Lake. People are much easier to control than animals, you know. The whole fake assassination plot, I handed out to Blanco on a plate. That was part of his plan too? And so Rook's murder was...
Objection.
No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't faith a crazy thing? You can't talk like that about a murder. Setting Lagard up was easy too. I just made it seem like Knight and Canis were in contact with each other. The slip, the chisel inside the chest set. So it was you who put it there? Yes, it was. I thought it might point everybody nicely to Canis' direction. Worked out pretty well, didn't I say so myself. Who knew that all it would take is to make that awful woman murder poor Blanco? I guess she got to where she saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know that feeling. Even the smallest thing can send the Paramodia into overdrive, and then things get ugly real quickly. I got a front row seat for the whole show. You were the last piece I put to play, of course. Who? Me? You saw both cases and finally brought down Winter of the Guard. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put the end of both of them both. I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You were just playing up being an attorney for a little while, right? What did you say? All I had to do was cower and say no a few times. And you rode to my rescue like a hero you are. Was getting arrested a part of your plan too? No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for the murder weapon. That was a real plot twist. Made my blood run cold, for sure. But then who should come through my turnabout and all turnabout? The greatest legal mind of the generation, my knight in shining armor. I bet it felt pretty good saving me after that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. You don't do that for many people. You're wrong. He wasn't playing up being her attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. He helped me right when I needed it the most. Okay. Oh, did he? You sure he wasn't trying to steer his departed daddy's shoes for size? No, that's not what he was doing. Come on, K-Meister. Don't let this cloud get you down. He's projecting plain and simple, painting other folks to his own corruptly bunch. It's not just he could trust other people. That poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand. You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I got my revenge on everyone set to get it from. And yet... Think about it. I never actually did anything. What's my crime exactly? Explain it to me. You think I could just pin the indictment charge on me? Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove I did anything at all. It's not true. You kidnapped me. Sorry, but did I miss the part where you proved that? All I ever admitted was to sending letters. Letters which didn't threaten, of course, or encourage anyone to do anything. I just passed on what you might call permanent information. Ah, he's a slippery one, I'll give him that. There's gotta be something we can do. What about this? Excitement stuff he was talking about. Indictment, K. It means to encourage or drag another person to commit a crime. In the eyes of the law, it seems very equivalent of committing the crime itself. So then we just have to prove we told her to do it. You say that was going to be easy. Guess maybe you're not as big as on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can of murders that don't they do it? Think again. I don't have to talk to you if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you? I can think of one reason. The tent is surrounded. There's no one left to run. Really? You don't think I plan my escape too? What if, just to pluck an idea out of nowhere, I train all of these vicious wild beasts to attack on a command, for example. All I have to do is say the word and settle all stays on the chaos. What? You wouldn't. I'm just spitballing. You're paid to see that, won't you? I could easily just take Sean hostage with a gun and I may or may not have it in my pocket. Yeah. You know what? That would make for a killer show. You will do no such thing. It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go to. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to be prepared for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you. But just for a curtain note for the performance, it better be a lovely one. Bore me and we're done here. Alright, let's see what you can beat me entertained, shall we? God, he's not going to give me an inch. But there must be something we could do. We can't let this crime go unpunished. I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant at least one murder to happen, because you said so yourself. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made Big Bad Chairman Winter kill Little Miss Rosie Ringer. What? I said that? Weird, I don't remember. I know you think you would worm your way out of everything, but this time you're wrong. I am. Yes, because our conversation was being recorded by somebody inspecting the signal from a very listening device you planted. It was? You had a conversation with a clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us? No. Blank Z says, a schemer's schemes will shallow him in the end. Miss Lloyd, would you play us the tape, please? You bet I can. Got it. It was this part right here. Stranger, let's just give us a cell phone. Who is this? You're the one who abducted Kay. I can't hear Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry. I was right around here. I was as surprised as... Huh? That's weird. Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd? I'll say, it seems like we maybe didn't quite catch the next part on tape. What? Why? How could that not be there? Oh, poor baby. You think I leave myself wide open like that? Well, think again. There's something a little special about that bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely. What? You never knew they make those? Remote control bugs? Sure, they exist, but... So you switch it off to avoid being recorded? Bingo! But how? How would you have not to know it's being recorded in the first place? And I did. Of course I did. It was so obvious that someone was eavesdropping, so that's because... Miss Lloyd, was it? You knew about the kid prosecutor kidnapping without any prompting. No. You heard that whole conversation? I did indeed, old pal. But I must say, I thought you would figure it all much sooner. Aren't you supposed to be a genius prosecutor? Yeah. Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, at the part where I couldn't prove indictment, it was game over. Oh well. Yeah. Oh shucks, so my tape isn't gonna be no use to nobody after all? Come on, I must have recorded something you can use. If only that were true. Hey, K-Meister. Yeah? The old buggeroo. It was hitting your pin the whole time, right? Did I shake anything loose from the old brain tree? I don't know. Give me a sec to think. You're the one who had direct contact with him before.
Objection.
So sad. Relying on flawed evidence. Desperately trying to make it stick. Well, that's quite enough for that for now. Next topic, please. Huh? He's trying to steer us away from our current line of inquiry? You only had directly contact with him before. Okay, I had a one-to-one encounter with him only recently. What if the sound of that voice at the time had been recorded? Miss Lloyd, how long have you been recording the incident of the bug for? Started about, let's say now, 2 nights back. In which case, during the time frame, we were likely to find Mr. Saint's voice in that tape. Mr. Saint abducted the kid and took her up to the roof of the big building 2 nights ago. What if there was a recording around that time? Miss Lloyd, quickly, play the tape you have from the night before last. Huh? Sure thing. That's the sound of the balloon. Indeed it is. It's around that time I imagine Mr. Saint must have been transporting you on it. Which means he can't have been too far away from you, or the bug. Is there anything else on the recording, I wonder? Wait, that noise! That was a gunshot! You turned the bug off then too, it seems. Unluckily for you, you were a little late on doing so. There's no escaping it now. That gunshot ties you directly to this case. Huh? What are you talking about? Nobody ever mentioned a gun. He's wrong. Somebody's involved with the case discharged with a gun. I must need to remember who it was and present the piece of evidence that proves it. Which piece of evidence shows that the gun was used by the incident related to this case?
Take that!
It's written right here in the president's autopsy report. Traces of gunshot residue detected on his hand. Grr. And where was Kay where the gunshot was recorded? That's right. She was in the ballroom, the balloon taken up to the top of the big building. However, the room wasn't as deserted as you needed to be. Yes, I was there with the president. Wait, not long after we started talking, you noticed something and told me to leave. And if the gunshot rang out shortly after that? Don't tell me you didn't hear it yourself, Mr. Saint. Not when it sounds crystal clear in this recording. You're just going to pretend to ignore me? What else are you expecting me to do when you keep spouting your weird theories? We didn't just hear the gunshot on that tape. If you listen carefully, you can also hear the bullet hit something too. Did the president happen aiming at Mr. Saint? What would the bullet have struck?
Take that!
I think the president was firing at the balloon. And if it was, what we heard on that tape could have been the bullet hitting the basket. Let's take a look, shall we? A hole! But the bullet stuck on it! There's a bullet hole in the bottom of the basket. I call that pretty conclusive proof. Well, Mr. Saint, how do you explain not just the sound of the tape, but the company bullet hole? You see everything, do you? It's pretty impressive, I have to admit. I doubt there's anything I could hide from you if you really wanted to find it. Just shut up and confess, will you? Alright, no need to get cranky. I'll admit, I flew the balloon up to the roof, but when I arrived, Judge Cobell and the president were already there. They came as a surprise, I have to say. Only the president noticed me and he made a good judge leave right away. And then he pointed a gun at me and fired. Why was he trying to shoot down the balloon? Oh, that's simple enough. When I arrived, he was about to murder your friend, the judge here. Me? Yeah, you. You told him to. You told him about Sean. What do you think was gonna happen? What do you think he met up with you in the first place? He thought you were going to expose him as an imposter. Because she knew the truth about Sean's parentage, she was afraid? Afraid? You can say that. The man's a total coward. His hands were shaking so much that he tried to get rid of me. He couldn't even sit straight. So you see, I just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was an innocent bystander.
Hold it!
You're lucky that the bullet only struck the bottom of the basket. Yeah, I tried to get out of there the second he pulled out that gun. Couldn't have my balloon going pop. But it was a close run thing. So you left right then and there? Of course I did. He was shooting at me. Do you think he was a problem with that? Does that present a problem? In the end, you managed to leave Kay there and up at the rooftop. Which means you didn't actually leave the vicinity, did you? Oh yeah. Guess I forgot to tell you the next part. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch of the 51st floor. I hung around a little longer to make sure the coast was clear, then I landed on the roof. Would you mind apprehending that convincing testimony? Makes no difference to me. After he shot at me, he escaped through the hatch of the 51st floor.
Objection!
You're lying to us again. I am. The president never entered the storage room the night before last. Miss Hart testified to that fact. What? And you believe the word that too big hack over mine? I beg your gosh dang pardon! Say that about my chief again, I dare you! I want the smile off her, you stupid clown face! So we know Hart was trapped out on the 51st floor of the entire evening. But if our fake president escaped through there, then how the heck did he get off the roof? An excellent question, and one that I hope to provide the answer to next. We know that he didn't leave via the elevator, so neither that or the hatch was possibilities, which leaves only one possible way to escape the rooftop. How did the president leave the rooftop if it wasn't via the elevator or the hatch?
Take that!
He flew. He flew? Yes, and Mr. Singh flew.
Objection!
Whoa, quit fooling around, will ya? Why in the world would I give that guy a lift in my balloon?
Objection!
There was a security camera on this elevator, and Miss Hart was on the 51st floor the whole time. There's no other way he could have left the rooftop.
Objection!
You know what the circus is all about? Making the audience think you're in danger, giving them a thrill. But this time you bring the act to an end. I'm not in danger here, even if you think I am. What do you mean? Watch and learn, Miss Hart. Can I ask you something? You were keeping guard on the 51st floor the whole time, right? Never even blinking for a moment? You bet your big toe was! I didn't say much of a testimony!
Objection!
Huh. So the noise. The sound of Miles' faithful assistant flowing through the hatch. That didn't scare you so badly that you fainted? Well, maybe I haven't mentioned this before, but I fell asleep during a few weeks after that. Well, passed out, unconscious, you might say. What? What happened? That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. There was the sound of Kate crash landing onto the storage room floor. What? Well, so what if I did? Ain't a girl in the world get caught a little unawareness sometimes? Sorry, Miles, but that's what you get for putting your faith on these people.
Objection!
It doesn't matter. Kay can't be falling down the hatch until the president left the room.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Allow me to offer a little counter theory. A coward fake president fired his gun at me. Then he hid in the shadows until after your friend fell down the hatch. What? So what if he did? What does that mean?
Objection!
Come on, come now. Surely even you can see what I'm insinuating here. It's elementary. If the president had hid until his heart fainted, he could have passed through the 51st floor undetected. No. And there we have it. The little theory about the secret storage room falls apart. No! Did you have to do it in my own voice? That's right. Oh, and another thing. I might have left Sean's identity to slip through our power president here. Power here, the president will see hiding in the shadow. That's when instead of to try and murder him the next day, Owen wound up being killed himself. That's right, it was Sean who blurred the body double.
Objection!
What possible reasons the boy could have been doing so? Oh, a pretty good one. He already knew that he was the president's son. And how did he discover that exactly? Because I told him in one of my trademark letters. What? He's lying. Oh, you bet I am. Huh? Or am I? Maybe I did tell him, and maybe I didn't. Well, Shawnee boy, which is it? It was my fault that the Taurosaur's head fell off the roof. I admit that much already. But I didn't find out my dad till today, I swear. Huh. Well. I knew about the falling head thanks to the bug. But who knew it was you that made the fall? And the president died from being crushed, was it? Alright, well that's confirmed at least. You were the murderer. Congrats on getting your revenge. That ties everything up neatly, would you say? I guess you could say something more like, and so the pieces fall into place at last. Well, counter my untenable logic if you can. You know what my MO is for now? I'm a hands-off kind of guy. I just like to pull a few strings here and there. That was the case with Bronco and with Chairman Winter. So what makes you think I let that fake president set foot on my balloon? Besides, I thought he was crushed by that model monster head. And who said... You said all Taurosaurs dogging and following him? It all makes perfect sense. That's how our imposter wound up dead and no doubt about it. And what makes the money behind the murder? The little truth I shared, just as I said. Get it? The truth. That thing you're so fond of? That's what caused the murder here, not me. No, that's not possible. Well, is that a detective in the house? Well, somebody arrest that boy. Can't help noticing nobody rushing in to slap in handcuffs. What's the matter? Curse you. Just as I thought. Admit it. You're all the same. You, Winter, the idiot, phony president. You want the real culprit to go free as you can railroad me into the jail cell, don't you? That's the justice you all claim to love so much. You only love it when you get twisted in your own suit you need. No, that's not true.
Objection.
Ha! Well, if you're not going to make a move, guess I'll step outside and speak to the officer myself. Once I tell them the kid here's a murderer, maybe they'll finally do something. We're not done with your testimony yet, Mr. Saint. How do you know I'll make such excuse for stalling even longer? But you still don't have any proof, do you? Or any chance of winning this? Tell me I'm wrong. And yet you still want to prolong the agony? Well, as long as you are doing... He's not holding back! What? Did you forget that little Shawnee's life is on the line too? Hey, Miles Serrano. Take a deep breath for me, will you? Why would I do that, Fender? Because it's times like these that you need to kick back, take stock, and be grateful for what you have. The worst of times are when lawyers calmly show their biggest smiles, remember? The way in which your president made his escape is what you and Laughing Boy can agree on. So how about this for a little thought experiment? What if it's not about whether the big guy in the purple jacket got on the Paloma or not, but rather, under what conditions would seemingly would be cool letting him get on board? A turnabout in thinking. Forget the interruption, just the 2 cents worth, or your old man's, I should say. Maybe Gregory's techniques can still prove useful in this crazy modern era. He's right. Under what circumstances could the body double could have been allowed to that balloon? He was a physically imposing man, and what's more, he was carrying a gun. Could he have been drugged? No. There are no traces of sediments found during his autopsy. In which case? Surely not. Are you about ready to continue, Miles? And don't forget, this is what you're playing for. This is going to be a tricky, but I have to tear his testimony down one statement at a time. Sean didn't kill the president. The president was crushed by a monster. What? Do you really just said that? You? Oh, I get it. He's the kid who can communicate with giant beasts, right? Did he use his special powers? The only person in communication with monsters was you. Sorry, but you must have been mixed up with somebody else. No monster pals here, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Why the false monastery? You're very close with at least one such creature. In fact, you make this particular monster do exactly as you command. It was you who killed the president, Mr. Saint, and I can prove it. What? You're talking about the lion balloon? Yes, a quivering mockery of a monster filled with hot air, but a monster nonetheless. Not entirely unlike Mr. Saint himself. Sorry, you lost me. What are you trying to say exactly? You seem very keen to stick to your story about being manipulated strong the president. But no matter how true it may want it to be, it was nothing more than a desperate lie. Even the most skilled animal tamer can't make a dead do his bidding. And the president was dead long before he left the roof, having been killed by your balloon. Oh! I get it, that thing may look lighter than air, but it weighs a few 100 pounds, right? When the president attacked you from the roof, you had to think quickly in order to protect yourself. The method you chose landed the balloon right on top of him. You didn't need to let him ride on that balloon, and he didn't need to persuade you to taking him. Because when you took it away was his dead body. Wait a minute now, Miles. So what you're saying is true, the president would have been killed 2 nights ago, which would mean that the time of death recorded in the autopsy was wrong. What? Wow, you're really losing your touch. Look again. It's written right here. Time of death, April 5th at approximately 11 p.m. It's clear as day. Gah! April 5th? That was yesterday, which means... Exactly. It means he died when a Tarsaur's head fell off the roof. Alright, Sean, it's time to be honest with all. You know it's the right thing to do. You killed your daddy, didn't you? You hated him, didn't you? We get it. Who wouldn't? He just left you. What kind of father would do that? No, that's not what happened. I already told you. I didn't know he was today. Oh, but you did know because I told you myself. God, can my theory have been wider than Mark? I want to thank you once again, Miles. You hounded Winter and Lagarde until their crimes are finally exposed. And by rolling them both, you both helped me get my revenge. Gotta love these powers of deduction. If the time of death matched up, everything else would fit. So, could he possibly have cheated the time of death somehow? Oh, and what's the other guy's name again? Carmelo Gusto? He even ran him down for me. That was some great work he did there. Of course, Gusto, the IS-7 incident. He killed Frost and froze his body in order to conceal it. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to assert the time of death. If they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, it would have been an obvious suspect. Yeah, bingo! I only wish I would have been there to see his downfall too. How could you say that? He was your father. I'm so scary, Miss Lagarde. Just keep asking what happened that day. Where are you, Dad? Where are you coming to get me? Please, I need you to come take me away. Is it because I broke my promise? Because I didn't show up in time to help you taste your word? He was no father. He left me all on my own. What kind of person would do that? He may at least share the same blood, but that's it. Father, what a joke. You may not want to hear this, Mr. Saint, but you share more than blood. Hate him all you like, but you're more like your father than you will know. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Fate can be strange sometimes, but this was no coincidence. You and your father were the same, even the methods you chose. You deliberately threw out the time of death just like he did. That's right. That's right. We had to rescue him down the warehouse refrigerating unit down by the harbor. A refrigerating unit is a dip point. They threw out the time of death? And how did I do that exactly? By hiding the president's body in a very specific place. You hit the body right here.
Take that!
You needed to keep the body cool somewhere, and you also needed somewhere to keep Sean. Heh, who knew that these two were connected? You're talking about the kidnapping again? Why are we bringing that up now? Because much as you mentioned you were forgotten, we know you kept Sean in the refrigerating unit. The same refrigerating unit in which you kept the president's body. Just as your father froze the body, was trying to conceal 18 years ago. What? You're saying I'm the same as him? The same as the animal who abandoned me? A sad irony, but an undeniable truth nonetheless.
Objection!
Shut up! I'm nothing like him! I could never be like him! He's nothing to do with me, we're nothing alike!
Objection!
Sorry, kiddo, but I think it's pretty clear that you and Augusto have more than a little in common. You even told us that you didn't like sweet stuff way back when we first met, right? If that's not the product of your daddy's issues, I don't know what is. Gah! You don't understand. You may have tried to disown your father, but he listens in everything you do. You think the same way. And you're every bit as prepared as he was to sacrifice others in order to protect yourself. Your crimes were even exposed in the same manner. You couldn't be more similar. Wow! Or should I say, I don't know anything about the refrigerating unit. And the kidnapping? Nothing to do with me. Nonsense. You did it so you could blackmail Jessica Bell. If you know that in fact you were involved.
Objection!
You're a real danger to be around, you know that, Miles. Why aren't you going to accuse me of? And it changes nothing. You still don't have any proof of indictment or kidnapping or anything. Oh wait, or are you planning on maybe fabricating some? Taking the leaf out of your old winter playbook? Never. I would never do that. God, I can't let myself rest in your provocation. What was the line? No matter what happens, we must find the truth. Something like that? Huh, but only when the truth suits you, huh? That's how the law keeps people down, isn't it? And why I had to get my revenge myself. I got away with it. I got away with all. The guard, winner, and now you. None of you can touch me. This is bad, Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't there anything we could do? Everything points to this man being our culprit. But we need evidence, even just one piece. Alright, it's been fun. Now it's time we brought this little show to an end, don't you think? Stick around for the main event though, won't you? I'll even let you in for free, if you finally admit defeat. Who was that? Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Gummy, where you been? I've been doing my job, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me. I'm Detective Gumshoe. Do you have anything to report? I had to look over the few things real quick, sir, about the refrigerating unit where the kid has kept. It was registered to the Very Big Circus, just like you said. And there it is, just in the nick of time. Excellent work, Detective. Well, Mr. Saint. Must be some kind of mistake. Why would a circus need a refrigerating unit? A valid question, I suppose. But we're no experts in the circus trade. Perhaps we could ask your department manager for her thoughts on the matter. Well, Miss Berry? We do have a unit to store all the food for the animals. But I don't know where it is. I'll leave all that to Simeon. He's so good at this kind of thing. You fool! Simeon, you're scaring me. Such a shame, but rushing to find a solution with facts this often leads to mistakes. You know that the body was found in the unit and suspicion of following you. So you panic and move into the grounds of the big building instead. Yeah! But you weren't counting on Sean being found in the unit where you kidnapped him. If only you have known you're up against a great thief and an even greater detective. Is everything alright? You're looking a little pale. Don't think you weren't just yet, Miles. You're missing proof of that most important part of your little theory. I am? Perhaps you can enlighten us? You don't have any evidence that I crushed the presidential faker with that balloon. And I know you don't, because there isn't any. I'm afraid there is. What? And Mr. Saint murdered the victim as we think he did. There should be traces of your misdeed of your piece of evidence.
Take that!
Analyzing the balloon basket will turn up the evidence we need. The balloon again? You already have your bullet hole. What else do you expect to find? We, expect to find plenty, actually. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? If there's truth to be found, then we'll find it. It's a hero of justice. He sure is. We'll find something for sure. Mr. Edgeworth has gotten out of the way tighter spots than this one. What they said. We believe in you, Miles Serrano. And so does your pop. He's looking down on you right now, as I know he is. Just stay calm and see this through to the end, Miles Edgeworth. A perfect victory is only moments away. The president's body double was killed by the balloon. Traces of a certain substance will prove in that. And you, Simeon, say, will pay for your crimes at last. I'm looking forward to this. Time to wrap up the mysterious past and present once and for all. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, deal the final blow to this unforgivable wicked man. The last piece of evidence will prove your guilt beyond a doubt. What should I expect to find when the balloon was used to crush the president?
Take that!
When Sean found the president's body, he also found a bouquet of lion lilies. Lion lilies? Symbol of the connection between parent and child. A popular flavor back in Z5. That's your proof? A bunch of flowers that will be rotting to your dump by now? A bunch of flowers that Sean threw away? So much for your beautiful symbol of parental connection. There's no such thing to do with any of this! Ignore him, Sean. He threw those flowers away as much as true. Well, the bond they represent remains as strong as it ever was. The president held them until the last. The act that was prized with the final piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about? The flowers Sean disposed of has been squashed flat. They must have been crushed by the balloon. If we examine the basket for traces of lion lily pollen, what do you think that might find? No, you don't need to do that. You looked over the basket just now. Anyway, if there was pollen stuck to it, you would have seen it. Those flowers are bright yellow.
Objection!
Not all evidence is visible to the naked eye, Mr. Saint. Huh? Emma! Yeah? I'd like you to call on your scientific skills once again if you don't mind. Leave it to me! Alright, let's take a look at this balloon basket, shall we? Ah! I got something! Bright yellow pollen, just like you said! If it's from the same flowers, it shouldn't take more than a quick test to prove it. What? And there we have it. You murdered the president, and that murder you carried out yourself. No, how could this? No! You crushed the president with that balloon. And you loaded his body in the basket and took him from the refrigerating unit. But why? Why go to the trouble of removing the body? Because he knew another incident was scheduled to occur the same evening. Oh, Rosalie Ringer's murder! Exactly. If he had left the body there, he would have been interfered with the other plans. I get it, and he couldn't leave the body in the refrigerator unit too long either. Right? Indeed not. While returning to the big building, he dropped the body off again the following night. It was a pursuit of the fire Sean caused and saw his head failing as a result. That's what gave you the idea, was it? You framed Sean for the murder. Yeah! You made it seem like it's the falling head that was killed and that my son would take the blame. Despicable coward. In order to achieve your end, you lowered the president's body from the balloon to the lot below. And while he was dangling from the rope you used, he was caught in Shot's rehearsal tape. No, how could you? How can you see through all? How? How? You manipulated people and you manipulated this case just as you manipulated animals on the stage. You thought you were all powerful, but your reign is at the end. The animals look like they're mad with you, Simeon. Even Money and NASA. You thought you were their friend, but you're not. They're sad and mad at the same time. Stop it! Stop looking at me like that! Perhaps they will when you finally stop clowning around. You're not cut out for comedy. Your child destiny is empty with a whimper. Don't... Get away from me! Get away from me! Leave me alone! Dad, where are you? I'm so scared. I don't know what you're talking about. I've done nothing wrong. Nothing. I'm not a bad one. They are. Why, Bronco? Why didn't you stop me from seeing my dad? If only none of them did what they did, I would have had to. I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anybody. I was all alone with nobody to help me. But that man, he helped me. Candace was the only one who ever helped me. So what if I use people? I had to. Is that so wrong? No! Leave me alone! Leave me alone! Ow! That hurts! Stop it! You... No! 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 And the clown has been defeated. It seems the game is up at last. The killer! Mr. Edgeworth, may I be first to congratulate you. You have unmasked the person behind this entire sorry affair. Now, I am free too. No! Guns are so clumsy, don't you find? I don't have a gun. Please, not only you are carrying one, you were just about to draw it. He must have stolen it from the president after murdering him. This gentleman betrayed the bond of trust. He knew this so-called president was an imposter, yet he employed me to kill him nonetheless. There's nothing more dangerous than an assassin to be lied to about the nature of one's target. If one does not know what cards opponent is holding, one can be very unpleasantly surprised. But that was not just your true crime. No, thinking you could deceive me, manipulate me, that is a crime for which you are about to pay. No! You! It's been a while to kill her. Step aside, Connors. This man is my target. I would politely ask that you call off this particular job. He'll pay for his crimes, but in prison, not in the end of your blade. This is so badass. And if I refuse, let's just say I might not take a loss of one life that I never saved too well. You saved a life, but only Hanakanis, the blind butcher himself. Preposterous, I know. But yes, I, who have taken so many lives, once chose to preserve one. That is an innocent young pup. And he, in his turn, saved mine. Something of a bond formed between us. Laugh all you like. I know I would. But I would respectfully request that you spared him. As one professional to another, I ask that you let this particular target live. Very well. The boy must mean a lot to you. Thank you. I am in your debt. You need not thank me. I simply see a little point in the two of us killing one another. Now then, I bid you all good day. No! Get back here! You have my thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. This young punk needs to be shown the error of his ways, and you have done just that. Alright, I suppose we'd better get going, getting back. Our ironclad enclosure awaits. Doesn't it, Helmut? Yes, it does. Oh, hello. You killed my dad, didn't you, old man? I will not lie. I did. My victims deserve to be remembered at the very least. That makes I sense a great hatred for me from you, horned pup. In that case... Sean, no! You must not falter, little one. Here, you may use my knife. Take it, and cut my throat. One short slice is all it takes. I was growing rather tired of carving my little statues anyways. I want revenge. I want it so badly. Sean, don't do it! Please, Sean, I beg of you! At least, I did until just now. I would have done anything to make you pay, no matter how long it took. Oh, but you shouldn't make those who have wronged you pay. Don't make you feel so good. Trust me. All the pain, all the suffering, it all goes away. It drowns it all out, numbs it. Maybe it does, but listening to you, I thought maybe that's what I wanted. Sean! But it's not just about me. Say I get my revenge. How does that help anybody else? If I become a murderer, my mom suffers 10 times more than I ever would. And so would all the people I work with. They're counting on me, and they worry about me. Thoughtful words indeed, little one. Yeah, well I get it now. I won't ever forgive you, but I shouldn't be the one who gets to punish you. That's what these guys are for. My mom, the prosecutor, people like that. Sean. Wow, maybe young Sean, wait, why is it all over me? You could at least consider trying to be better yourself, Kay? Very well. Then I suppose we'll be on our way. With me, young pup. On our way? To where? Where else? To the prison. Our home. Our home? And with that, the case come to an end. A case that had dragged so many people into this orbit. But as for me, there was one last thing I had to do. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Edgeworth. What's the big idea, big guy? Want to tell us what we're doing here? Mr. Edgeworth. Your request has been proceeded and approved. Huh? Your what now? I've asked for my prosecutor badge to be reinstated. Your badge? What's the meaning of this? I am returning it. From this day forward, I'm a prosecutor no longer. I still can't believe you did that just for me. A certain man once said that to be an attorney is to be the defendant's most trusted ally, and that by believing in your client, the truth will make itself known. That man image has been forever burned to my memory. As strongly as the victim of my father's fighting in the courtroom. Good old Gregory. And that's his and his father's path. Mine lies elsewhere. Mr. Edgeworth! My path is that of the prosecutor. It always has. Well, then I guess that's that. I'm sorry. No. I dig it. And besides, I can tell by that look in your eye that your mind's made up. It is. Alright then. Looks like our work together is diddly done. Just don't come crying to old Eddie if you change your mind. This club's now closed for new members. I understand. Hey, Monster. Care to tell me why at least? How come you're so dead set on popping the old prosecutor's hat back on? You once asked me something, Fender. Are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you got a big decision ahead of you, one that you only answer. I've been thinking about that question ever since, about how I need to live my life. And now that this case is over, I think I finally know the answer. I'm going to help people as a prosecutor. But can you also do that as an attorney? Look at it this way. Simi was also a victim of sorts. He lost his only parent all those years ago, and with him, his ability to believe in just world. I know how that feels. To lose somebody so important to you, to lose faith in everything. To doubt everything and be utterly alone, to fight and fight and fight. All those I could hope for is to get every defendant declared guilty, so I make that my policy. But I was lucky, somebody was kind enough to save me from myself. Mr. Singh had nobody. He had no faith in the law. He felt like seeking revenge himself was the only option. But I doubt even you can imagine the bodyguard would ever go so far as to call Spirit or company's police. No, he sure didn't. As long as Winter's around, no evidence was going to stand. I even nearly managed to ruin things this morning, and the guard almost got away with it again. I want to help people like him. And how do you plan to do that? If he hadn't been able to rely upon the law, none of this would have happened. Chairman Winter made a mockery of justice, and in doing so drove Mr. Singh away from seeking it. Law's only as good as oppression is. It can't be shielded that keep the people safe from harm, no matter or the sword wielded to wound them. But just one among many of the law's greatest contradictions. You can say that again. Yep, it's what we folks by the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect. But one cannot solve such contradictions in the law without engaging with it. I don't think an attorney would have erased Mr. Say, but a prosecutor, a custodian of a law, I think perhaps they could have. I plan to take up my badge again and confront those contradictions at every turn. Very Miles Serrano. I like it. You know, it wouldn't be easy breezy though, right? Fighting the law itself, that's warring on the hard mode. I understand that, but somebody has to do it. Oh, I don't doubt that. And it don't have to be anybody, it should be you. Laws of the people, I guess, and they both gotta grow and change, adapt and perish, am I right? You're going to smash things, I just know it. After all, you're Gregory's boy through and through. And if there's one thing that man did not know how to do, it's give up. Eyes on the prize and straight until sunset, that was his motto. You know what? I saw the same determination in your face the second you mentioned taking the prosecution in your again. You know what really has grown and changed? He did agree a great cheese ball, but you. I only wish your dad was here to see it. He'll be proud of all get out. Fender, thank you. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, if you're ready to begin, we can get your ceremony underway. Please. By the powers invested in me under the Committee of Prosecutor for Intelligence, I, Verity Cavell, do hereby in the sight of the Almighty Goddess, reinstate Miles Edgeworth as a servant of the law. Alright, you're a prosecutor again! Best news I heard all week, sir. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, I got a scoop. Your pop is going to want to know his kid to sign up for the opposition the second time. Thank you again, Fender, for everything. Don't thank me yet. The next time you see me could be across the courtroom. And this face is a whole lot less locally charming when it's not on your side of the aisle. I would relish the opportunity to face an attorney trained by my father. I hope that day comes very soon. Alrighty, Fender out. Welcome back into the fold, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thank you, Judge Cavell. I owe you more than I could say. You do? You stove in right to the bottom of the committee from the inside. That must have been a lonely battle indeed. Not at all. I was never truly alone. That's right. You have the Goddess of Justice on your side. Thank you for teaching me that it's possible to fight in such a way. The contradictions within the committee are like those within the legal system itself. If we aren't able to overcome them, the real truth will forever evade us. I have you to thank for teaching me that, and for sending me on this path. I hereby swear to confront the contradictions that affect the law and to overcome them. And I thank you for your commitment to that cause, as does the Almighty Goddess. I truly believe that such efforts are necessary in order for the law to grow and improve. I look forward to seeing you in the courtroom again soon. As will I. You did not see the best of me when I last oversaw the trial. The next time it will be different. I will show you what it means to serve justice with true impartiality. Judge Cavell. I don't mean to call your motivation into question. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? But, to my mind, the ideal judge is wholly not impartial. The ideal judge is human. Even in the courtroom, they laugh, they cry, they rage, they smile. And when it's all said and done, they pass down the judgment based on very humility. I'm not sure exactly how to put this, but perfection isn't always the lowest of ideals. It's certainly not the only thing to strive for. Forgive me, this is my opinion, nothing more. You are right, of course. There are other ways. I thank you for sharing your insights. Mr. Edgeworth, there's another reason I was never truly alone during my lone struggle against Sherman Winter. Someone else was with me, someone other than the goddess. Of course, Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply happening to nearly gave me hope. No matter how hard things get, no matter how formidable one's opponent, when we feel that we are not alone, we can keep going no matter how hard is the road ahead. Mistakes have been made, we must fix them, for Sean's sake more than anyone's. Like the mistakes made in the incident in which his father died. So you see, there is something more important even to me than the words of the goddess. Though I may anger her to hear me say such things. So it was your secret weapon all along, a strength of your bond of your son. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps I should not strive for the unteachable perfection. But I must grow, as a servant of the law and as a mother. That I believe above all else. I see. It seems we both have plenty still to learn. Indeed, we are neither of us perfect yet. Let us continue along our chosen path. and continue to grow as we train them. Until we meet again, I will look forward to that day. May the goddess watch over you as you embark upon your next step on your journey. I lost the title of Prosecutor, but now I have regained it. And so in doing so, I have seen the way forward, a path of justice, and I am determined to follow that path until I finally reach the truth. No matter how hard it might be, no matter how obstacles might arise, well, it's besides anyone stands in my way. For those who may be, whatever they might say, I will lift up my voice and shout. Alright! We have finished Turnabout for the ages, and now we're finally done with this game! Woo! Another Ace Attorney game has been complete! So, Chief! What kind of scoop we're looking to land ourselves next, huh? Didn't I teach you nothing, knucklehead? We're journalists, dang it! Leave their own stock and trade or broad and brother. You don't gotta just hand that stuff over, not even to your dang apprentice. Sorry, Chief. Guess I still got a whole bunch to learn, huh? Well, alright then. Better go check out some lead of my own stuff. That's the spirit. You go get him, champ. Before you mosey on down the way, mind sharing what kind of leads in them there might be? Huh? But, Chief, you... Come on now, I'm pretty much your editor, am I? Can't hold out on your balls. Oh, come on, Chief, that's cold. Yep, so what's next? We'll be playing the Apollo Justice Trilogy now. My arm wound has yet to fully heal even now. The bodyguard who inflicted it was a skillful practitioner indeed. I shan't be forgetting him in a hurry. But never mind that now. Time to return to the life of the simple ice cream seller. Although I have been thinking of perhaps crepes will be more my speed. Well, no rush. I'm sure there will be time to ponder my matter before my next job comes in. So yeah, the next stream we will begin Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, and I'll be playing it on the Nintendo Switch. Sure, you might knock me out of my butt, wise guy, but I ain't out of the cart just yet. I'll be keeping my guard up and looking for an opening. We gotta get us done first. Ain't that right, Teddy? The second the bell rings in the next round of escape shenanigans, we come out swinging. Till then, it's training, and more training. So yeah. If you guys are watching this, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys just joining me here this whole journey. You want to know if I'm still planning on becoming an animal stylist? Sure, I'm still studying every single day. Still up for my elbows and mud. But I guess it suits me better than being a newspaper salesman. I plan to make it my new career when I finally get out of here. What's that? Is my release a few more years away? Not because I helped warden the guard? Yeah! What do you think of being so nice to these stupid freaking animals? I don't care about the freaking license, I just want to get out of here. Why me? So yeah, I want to thank everybody who joined me in this journey. I very much appreciate you joining me here today. And throughout the whole Ace Attorney the Ace Attorney game. I was so shocked when I learned about what he had been up to this whole time. I trusted him. I was his boss. Still, can't sit around being sad forever, I guess. Show must go on. We can't let the magic department or the Chillicothe department get the better of us. Well, let's say to avoid the competition, all those awful memories with it. Yep. So we will be playing Apollo Justice next stream. We are down to the next 2 collections yet. I must have gone soft in my old age, haven't I? Boy, yes I have. 18 years ago I saved a life, and now the troublesome child is still keeping me busy to this day. And now here we are, back in the cage. Well, we'll have company soon at least, won't we, boy? Yes, our friend's a pup. Things certainly won't be dull with him around. No, they won't. Once again, I would like to thank everybody who has joined me here in the stream. What dessert shall we eat? Chocolate cake, sticky and sweet. Oh, so soft, fluffy and light. You'll be dreaming of it tonight. I'll always be waiting for you, Judy. And I'll come visit you every day, just like you and Eddie did when I was here. We have so much to thank you, Mr. Edgeworth, for. Most of all, the fact that I get to eat your delicious desserts again, Samson. And not just you, they gave me permission to keep writing sweet treats to everyone here. I guess spreading the gospel of candy making all those years is finally paying off. Like, it feels so happy knowing that I finally finished this game. It's a fun game. Oh, hello, sweeties. Nice meeting you here. I owe you a great big thank you, you know. And dear old Greg and Pegleg, too, of course. After all, thanks to all of you that I can eat Sammy Poodle sweets again. Now you're thinking I'm making a lovely medicine out of them. I'm going to call it Snacker's Delight. It makes your stomach so small but I can eat snacks. So you get skinny as a 10-pack and love every minute. It's going to make a fortune. Alright, once these credits are done, we'll probably check out the gallery for a bit. Man, I met so many beautiful people now. I've drawn so many beautiful sketches. Lulu isn't the biggest fan of my new work, so she took one look at my sketchbook and hit me over the head with it. Bam! Just like that. And then she left. Guess that's one less beautiful person in my life now. So I got a big decision ahead of me. Do I follow art or follow my heart? By heart, I mean new girlfriend. You got that right. Same old Larry. Batster, the Batster! Batster. Seriously though, thanks for insisting, good buddy. You want me to talk while IS7? I talk all day. Sounds like that Edgeworth kid is doing good work. Yeah, Miles Serrano chose a different path for his old man in the end. The path that means we can't work together, but that won't stop me looking on him from time to time. You come pretty far yourself. Holy macaroni! A compliment from Big Bad Detective Bad? Am I dreaming? Well, fighting will get you everywhere, old pal. You ever need a little fender match? Just say the word. Nice to see Bad again. Well, I mean, we saw Bad in his younger years. Looks like they'll be letting me off a little easier than I thought I would for what I did. I guess because I told them I was kind of forced to do it. Ouch! Ain't no such thing as easy when it comes to crying, dang fool child. Sorry, Grandma. I still feel awful about it, of course. But I'm just so glad I get to stay out of here with you. What's that? You think we should be heading back to work? I guess you're right. Can't keep the dead waiting. Science saves the day again, huh? Good thing I happen to be around, right? Even if I do have to jump right back to the plane again and go back to Europe. All this flying around is gonna get me tiring. Still, it's part of becoming a first-class forensic investigator. Guess I better get going. Oh, but you don't need me to say the word, okay? I'll come running. I know I will. I'm pretty sure we'll see you again soon. Hopefully. Foreshadowing. The greater one father, the greater the pressure to be greatest. But Eustace Winner, was it? He has chosen his own path now, and he will be tested. Just as I was. Miles Edgeworth chose to live as a prosecutor over how his own father lived. That, too, is a valid answer to the question we all had to wrestle with. And sadly, this will be the last time we see Francesca. My father hid the secret, bore a burden I could only have imagined. I thought only of my family name. He thought of so much more. He thought of the entire nation. I meant to carry out that legacy to fulfill his last great wish. Even if our president was an imposter, even if the real president is long dead, even if it takes all my effort and all the men's efforts, Think Fire will rise again. I can't wait for you to see it. I gave up on the winner thing. Told everybody to stop calling me that. Because I didn't win. My dad did it all for me. I'm going to start again from scratch. I won't let what he did ruin everything. I'm pretty sure I'll be better than him and better than Edgeworth, so watch out! Now, first order of business, get a new nickname. Well, it was eventful to say the least, but we got it done, and the movie's going down great. I think the murder stories of the gossip magazines might have helped. Big Bad Man emerged from Big Bad Wolf, revealed true face of the monster behind Zigbar's president murder plot. Huh? Wait, this is a picture of you, Mr. Powers. What? But why? Hey, it's not so bad. After all, it'll make people come in and see the movie, right? Yeah, I guess. I very much enjoyed the movie, Sean. It's nothing. It wasn't even a big part. The boy who betrayed Protarosaurus and Gordy? They don't come in bigger than that. And it was a role you were born to play. Do you think? Well, it would be cool if it was a sequel, I guess. And I kind of like acting. Hey, can we pick something up before we head back? I want to get some line movies for my dad. Of course, and I will buy some too, for a meal. Alright, we reached the final part. Phew, those are busy few days, huh, sir? Unbelievably so. How did so many important cases go along at once? Never a dull moment when I'm around. Guess I'm just lucky that way. Wait, so all that stuff happened because of you? No, Kami, how could you say that? And yet, I don't think the good detective is entirely wrong. Well, okay, what now? Will you be returning to your thieving practice? Yeah, good question. What? You're not sure? How can I put this? I guess I feel like I've been trying to follow my father's footsteps this whole time, you know? Trying to become a great thief just like he was. The Yatagarasu, or the Yatagarasu at least. But watching this how they all pan out to you, Mr. Edgeworth, it got me thinking that maybe I need to get out from under his shadow and live my own life too. Just like how you decided not to do the whole attorney thing. It's time to make my own fate. She's right. After all, nothing thrives in the shade. I'm going to be my own hero. That's like an admirable plan indeed. I won't be giving up the name though. Cannot be the Yatagarasu, right? Whatever name you pick, you always be a K to us, K. You always be a hero. Aw, thanks, Gummy. You always be my Gummy too. You bet I will, and I'll be doing my detective thing just as hard as always. I'll be counting on you, sir. Yes, and I'll be counting on you too, detective. Just as I've been counting on you this last few days, you've helped us out too many times to mention. I think your next salary review may come as a pleasant surprise. Huh? Huh? Wait, you mean... what's the matter? I'm saying I'll see as you get paid a little more, detective. You will? This is unbelievable, sir. No way! Go Gummy! It's like a dream come true. I can finally leave an instant new life behind. But don't think I'll be letting you rest in your Lazarus. Your works won't be getting any easier. I hope you understand that. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I'll give you everything I got. Just you wait and see. Fender and Jessica Bell set me a new path in life. A path in which I will face down every contradiction that the law has to present. A path in life chose the ultimate truth. But can I really do this? I'll need to give it more serious thought. It certainly won't be easy, nonetheless. Mr. Edgeworth, there's another reason I was never truly alone during my long struggle against Chairman Winner. Someone else was with me, someone other than the goddess. Of course, Sean! This clipping gave me more courage than words can express. Simply having been really giving me hope. When we feel that we are not alone, I can keep going no matter how hard the road ahead. So that was your secret weapon all along, the strength of your bond with your son. The strength of the bonds. Oh, I almost forgot! What is it? I was trying to find other members of my Yatagarasu team, right? You regularly remember something like that. Never even found a single one. You're going to be unstoppable on a quest to steal the truth. So much for that little pipe dream. You're kidding, right? You already have a team. A team that could solve any case in the world cares to throw at it. Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. The prosecutor, the detective, and the great thief. Between the three of us, we can hunt down the truth, put on the handcuffs, and steal it once and for all. I can't help feeling a little sorry for the truth that is in this case. As long as the three of us stick together, we have nothing to fear. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, nothing at all. My father followed his own path, right to the end. And now, I follow a path of my own making too. But not alone. I have some colorful companions to help me. As long as they're beside me, I won't lose my way. It's the new path, and a new me. And I'll be walking it as a prosecutor, not an attorney. My father's path and mine's more different. But they're not as separated as they seem. Though the routes differ, the destination is the same. Because, of course, both end at the truth. What a closing shot. Turnabout for the ages. Let us see this. There it is. And Miles Edgeworth, Ace Investigator. We have completed the entire Ace Attorney Investigations collection, and we have collected every single accolade in this game too. Once again, I would like to thank everybody who has been watching this series since the very beginning. I think for now, that's gonna be it. We are gonna go on a raid. Okay, we're gonna raid Lightning Fan. She's also doing Sonic and Shadow Generations. Once again, thank you everybody for joining me on this adventure. And with that, we are done with Ace Attorney Investigations. For now, we will end the stream. I want to thank you everybody once again who has joined me in this adventure from start to finish. And the next time, we will be playing Apollo Justice. We will be playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney we will be playing... Okay, I said this already. But for now, this is Robin Phoenix, signing off. Peace.